Like, I'm not even supposed to be here.
Is he supposed to be running from ice or something?
Oh no.
That's you.
Oh, whoa.
With that beard?
I just look like the most wanted list. Or no.
5-star unlocked. I don't know what we're doing right now. Hey everyone. And welcome into this dead off-season edition of College Football After Dark, where there is a lot happening, unfortunately. Let's put it that way. Unfortunately, there's a lot happening, which is good for us, because at least it gives some sort of commentary to talk about.
But no worries. No worries.
It's putting off the MAC preview.
But no worries, though.
The
No
MAC
worries.
preview.
It's only 76 days until week 0, 81 days until week 1, 82 days until Auburn, Baylor, Colorado, Georgia Tech, 83 days till week 1 Saturday, 84 days till Notre Dame, Miami, and Virginia Tech, South Carolina, and 85 days until the start of the Bill Belichick era between North Carolina and TCU.
We got to have a whole fucking show. Wow. Already.
What would there be a Bill Belichick era?
We need to have a Bill Belichick show.
Well, I mean, you can hear a lot about the Bill Belichick era on North Carolina at the Voice of College Football. So here's the channel link. Now let's get that channel to 1,000 subs.
Oh, man. That's messed up. That's messed up, Jordan Fight. It's messed up. It's messed up. It definitely did, though. Your voodoo doll was not in sync. But yeah, everyone, welcome into the College Football After Dark right here on the main channel. As always, we're here in the off season all year round. And early happy, because I will forget later, for next weekend we won't be here obviously, but happy Father's Day next weekend for everyone who has plans or is celebrating that. So by all means, I have to have lunch with the in-laws. I'm so freaking excited. You can see it on my face. So excited.
There you go.
Yeah, one by one. Jackson and Sean, as always. Where can people stalk you if they want to?
Well, they can stalk me on Alabama at the Voice College Football, where Coach Burt and I will have an upcoming interview with former college coach and current Gulf Shores High School head coach, Mark Hudspeth, for an interview. We'll be interviewing him before we get started with the 41st edition of Crimson Tide Live. And, of course, you can check us out on Alabama at the Voice College Football Monday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And, you can check out the Alabama Primetime Live Show with Manny Wilson and Coach Smoot Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central Time. And you can check out Jeffrey and I from the Alabama Call-In Show, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, where we take your calls on your takes on the Alabama Crimson Tide. And you can check out my latest episode of The Jacksonian with Gabriel Pickup from NBA Rumors and News and Rutgers at the Voice College Football, where we talk a lot about the NBA and Rutgers football, so much more. And if you want to check out more on what I've got to say on Alabama at the Voice College Football or on The Jacksonian, check me out on JacksonVOCFB on @/Twitter. Instagram and Threads, Jackson Johnson 543908, and on Blue Sky on Jackson Johnson 97, Blue Sky Social, where my friend Mike Debate says, where the skies are blue. Some say the skies are overcast, but to each their own. But of course, you can also find my calls on the Paul Feinbaum Show, all on there, at least once, twice a week, where the weekends are full of surprises.
And Sean is on the terrorist watch list, so that's where you find him.
Yes. I probably need to conceal my whereabouts for the time being. The people who need to find me know how to find me. Let's leave it at that. Jackson can drop the socials there.
I really got to teach you guys how to post links, don't I?
I just don't. I choose not to.
I mean, I need to teach Sean how to get that done, don't I?
He's on his phone. It's kind of difficult also when you're on your phone.
I can get. I'm on my tab. I'm on a tablet. What are you talking about? It's actually harder to do on a tablet, though.
Note to self: let's get Sean to be a mod, but you can check him out on Sean Gar 2023 2181 on @/Twitter and on Sean Garner on Blue Sky Social. Stay tuned.
Dave, really?
Oh God!
Really, Dave? Come on, Dave.
Well, Ben, you've had a busy week on Duts Live. Tell the people what you got going on Duts Live this week.
We're off this week, thank God. Outside of some video editing, recording, maybe getting some recruiting updates. It's not been a great week to be a Duck fan, and it has been pretty brutal. But we're all here for it.
And what else have you got on Exploring with Ben and Sam on YouTube?
Some new video coming out. I need to work on it. But yeah, some new video stuff coming out, and we're working on some trips. And we're aiming to do a bunch of different things tonight, or not tonight, but in the next just over the summer tonight.
You cutting out early here?
Yeah, I'm out. I gotta go. I got places to be. Man, I ain't got time for. No, I ain't got time for this.
Spaz was on the 93rd edition of Ducks Live, but I did not see him anywhere near the 92nd edition of Ducks Live.
Spaz has been hit and miss. And miss. But so was every other co-host I've tried to have, so there we go, This seems like a Trojan chat tonight.
Get your squad. You'll love what Ethan Inman and Matt Zimick are doing on USC Primetime Live Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and you'll definitely be loving what the Terrence Holton and Casey Casliner are doing on Coliseum Chronicles. They've got some magic cooking on USC at the Voice of College Football for sure. Ethan Inman, I can tell you right now, if I need a 49ers source, he's a go-to, because he does way more than USC football. He was pretty much my only reason to even touch TMZ. I'm just like, okay. I mean, I'm not too crazy about TMZ, but I like what Ethan Inman has to say. So there you go.
Well, if you want to, Jackson, let's roll into it real quick so we don't spend 30 minutes before we get to topics. We got business to do.
There we go. $2.99 a month. You can become a YouTube member for the Voice of College Football by becoming an all-conference member, where you'll get loyalty badges next to your name, custom emojis to use in the comments and in the live chat. You get member shoutouts and member-only polls. For $4.99 a month, you can become an All-American member, and you get access to a VIP hangout with the man himself, Mark Rogers, and you get a priority reply to comments. For $9.99, this is the big one, by the way. This is the big one. You can give out content requests of any kind just by becoming a Heisman member. And neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor bad weather of any kind will put a stop to fulfilling that content request. All right here at the Voice of College Football. And you get a panel invite to CFB After Dark with Ben and Friends Sunday nights at the Voice of College Football. And I can tell you right now, a lot of us here at the Voice of College Football, this is where we got our start. I got my start here on After Dark. Jordan Bowman got a start here on After Dark. John DeAnimo, After Dark, and so much more. Oh, none taken, gets a squad. You're good, man. But but this is what happens when you become a Heisman member for the Voice of College Football. You, especially if you love college football and want to discuss it, if you feel like your team is not discussed enough, let's say you're a Baylor fan, you're a Georgia Tech fan, and you want to discuss college football, all you got to do is pay $9.99 a month, and you can be on CFB After Dark with Exploring with Ben and Friends right here at the Voice of College Football Sunday nights. $19.99 a month, you can become a Hall of Fame member, where you can get discounted merch from the Voice of College Football. At $99.99 a month, you can sign up to be a part of the VOCFB bets, where you get VIP access to all of the top expert picks from the Voice of College Football, including from Mark Rogers, from Wager Talks, Steve Merrill, especially for the under the radar pick of the week. You want that man's picks for sure. You want his picks. I mean, it is a guaranteed money maker. And you get picks from the Michigan Podcast and Blaze TV's The Steve Deace Show himself, Steve Deace, and from Trojans Wire, the Voice of College Football, USC Primetime Live, Matt Zimick. You get all of their picks, all access to their picks, $99.99 a month, by signing in the Voice of College Football bets. And there's the Voice of College Football X account /Twitter, where you get top-notch discussion, debate, and analysis with no off-season. You got Ben and Friends. You got Tucker Harlan and Jordan Binkley on Tennessee Volunteers Live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Florida Gators Live, Sunday nights. It's a wild lineup. Oh, and you got BJ Boston bringing that magic. And it's, there you go, big catch against Boston College. Our very own Ben writing an amazing article asking whether the Oregon Ducks can replace the production of injured receiver Evan Stewart. And you got the Voice of College Football Instagram account. You got Ryan Williams making that magic on the CFB 26 cover. You got Colorado getting smacked on the face of the earth by BYU. West Virginia's projected offense for 2025. You got the Voice of College Football Facebook account. And that's right, folks. Mark Rogers giving his take on the NCAA House settlement. All right there on the Voice of College Football. Clay, Mike, and Terry T on the world-famous Buckeye Show. Mark Rogers and Cam Underwood partying on the Miami Hurricanes Live Show. Wednesday nights. Mark and Leanne on Ole Miss Live. No worries, you'll see Ruby Dreher Finley back on there. Don't you worry there. But Alec and Gome on Indiana Hoosiers Live. The Voice of College Football TikTok account. That's where the magic is. You get the 4th and 31. All right there. From 2023. Between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Auburn Tigers. You got Sean McDonough throwing his puberty voice over Michigan State, winning by a botched punt against Michigan in 2015. And then there's the Voice of College Football website, where you got the writers for the Voice of College Football. Well, you know, there's Ben again. He's kind of like a magician. I mean, I swear that bait pen is like spinach for him. Like kind of like how spinach is for Popeye. Like bait pen is like, there you go. Then you got Alec Kaiser from Indiana at the Voice of College Football. Leanne Herring. Now, she is the busiest woman on the planet with Kentucky Wildcats Wire, the Voice of College Football, Ole Miss at the Voice of College Football, On the Move, and the Rebel Walk. John D'Animo on Wolverines Live, all right there. And you got the host. Don't worry, we got Penn State show coming up. Here we go. And we got everyone, all your favorite hosts. And don't you worry, folks, SEC Live is coming back. It's coming back. And Big Ten Live will be coming back. That we can guarantee. We got a Colorado show. We've got it all. We've got all your favorite hosts, including all right here on the Voice of College Football. Then there's the team channels, the conference channels, all right there. If your favorite team is not on there, don't you worry. We are going to add it. We promise you. And there's the forum discussions for the conferences, the teams, everything, all right there. We add some group of five. And then there's the news articles. All of it. All right there.
There we go. Check it all out, everyone. Check it all out.
Tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at pubs about the magic that the voice of college football is creating. Stay tuned for more.
Tell everyone at Publix, your Walmart, your Safeways, your Albertsons.
There you go.
Your Meijer, your Kroger, your Wawa.
Your Home Depots. Your Sheetz gas stations.
You're a street hot dog vendor.
You're the ICE agent at your door.
Yeah.
Okay, we won't go too far in that.
Might be valuable information. You might want to hold on to that one.
I will get angry text messages. We go too far down that rabbit hole. Yeah, news this week. The settlement. And so much more. I don't even understand. I understand the idea of the settlement, but there's so many other details now that also sideways of that are interesting. But the House settlement did clear, and it's good to go. So now every team, what is it? Every team is $20.5 million
revenue share.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a big miss for the teams that opted out of the revenue sharing. The schools that didn't. There are some.
Well, I was wondering how a lot of these.
Why don't we go ahead and pull up the article, shall we?
Yeah. Because there's a lot to this. This is not just a simple revenue share. There's a lot to this.
There we go. So after a landmark settlement, here is what's next with NCAA athlete pay. And this is from Dan Murphy at ESPN. And what do you, Sean, what do you think about this?
I'm a little bit torn on this. I think this puts a lot of pressure on the universities to actually to pay. I think this might threaten some of the Olympic sports. You might. I imagine you'll see a lot of sports getting cut here over the next several years. But all in all, it's definitely good for the players. Good for the football players, at least. And I don't know. You have this on top of NIL. To me, this is like a completely separate deal from all NIL payments. So now these players are going to get paid, probably a fairly modest sum a piece, but
yeah, it is totally separate. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Is.
Like it's a different. This is the university directly paying, basically.
Well, I think the revenue they're talking about coming from is shared from the television contracts. I mean, yes, most athletic departments absolutely operate at a loss, but collectively, the ones that do make money and the deals they have with the conferences with those television deals pulls in enough revenue that they can, at least theoretically, share this with the athletes. And so I mostly think I'm mostly on board with this. I think it's a good change, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of nuance to it. So we'll see how it changes the landscape in the next couple of years.
I think that's where I'm at. I'm like, let's see in the next year or two where this goes, because this is a huge change for all universities. So you're going to see some universities handle it very well and some not handle it well. I think that's kind of what we're going to start seeing.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. It's also like there was aside from this, there was something about like the new 26 college football. They're also back paying players from like 2016 to 2018. They're going to back pay those players.
Why only those players? Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. I saw that. I don't know why the cut at 2016. Why is this back pay and not going back further? What there's going to be like more. I don't know. It's confusing as shit. Most of those players are already doing, in careers or have been in the NFL and like whatever, even retired maybe from the NFL.
Well, I mean, I think there might be an issue. This particular case has been in litigation for quite some time. It's gone through like several appeals. It's almost a decade old here, the initial case here. So
and another thing with like this was also came up because of the college football game that's coming out in 26. They're literally doing a percentage. So like if your team gets played so much, they owe so much money to that team or school or something like that. I saw it and I'm like, what? How is this? I don't even know how this is like going to be equated or tracked. How the hell are you tracking this? Like what is happening?
Well, I think that what that means to the voice of college football audience is we all need to go into dynasty mode with Merrimack and build up their stipends, their restitution.
No. Merrimack. I contacted Merrimack 3 times. I follow them on X. Never contacted me. Merrimack is dead to us here on the voice of college football. Merrimack is dead to us. I gave him a shot 3 times, and they reject us. They're dead to me. So we got that. There was something else this weekend. What was it? Oh, Michigan! Once again, there we go. That's what it was. It kind of like totally like skipped my mind. I was like, what are we talking about? I was like, oh yeah, Michigan. There we go. The story that just keeps on giving. It just keeps on giving and gives me a headache.
Yeah, it's like there's always some news event and nothing really happens. It's just okay. They're talking. This is really big. Okay, did anything change? No, not really.
Well, this was the weekend where decisions were going to be made, but the NCAA has 45 days basically to reply with what they're going to do. So it's.
I imagine they'll probably come to a decision a little bit sooner than that. I don't think it's going to take the whole 45-day window. I imagine in a couple of weeks we'll probably hear.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take 45 days, but it's an interesting thought to see what happens because this is the time, and this is not me saying this should happen or whatever, but I'm saying this is the time where the NCAA, if they want to have a pair of balls, needs to be like, hey, we're in charge still to a degree. Even though we know they're really not, but this is the time because we have seen schools in the past get way worse sentencing issues and sanctions for far less. Like, for instance, I can say for Oregon, Chip Kelly got a 4-year show cause penalty for self-reporting recruiting violations that they just said, hey, is this okay? And the NCAA said, no, it's not. Well, when he left, he got a 4-year show cause and reduced a couple scholarships. They self-reported that. If you can do that, Michigan literally is on the death penalty. Legitimately. I mean, I'm sorry. Legitimately, if you want to go equal to equal, par to par, in the sense of like what happened and what didn't, that's where it should be. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not saying it should happen, but if the NCAA wants to have show any balls, they would actually like literally just drop the hammer.
Well, this kind of feels like a little bighorn moment for the NCAA, does it? They have to. They have no choice but to like bring some fire and fury to this situation. And I mean, like we know that they don't like Michigan. I don't think anything can be clearer than that. That they've got an axe to grind with this program. So I don't know. I'm kind of expecting sanctions to be fairly significant here on this.
Again, and for Moose, look, this is not a hate. I am just saying, if other programs get all these other things and they self-report, when you try to hide stuff, I'm not saying take the title. I'm not saying any of that, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the NCAA's chance to grow a pair. Because when Michigan self-imposes their own little things on themselves, penalties, that says you're guilty. Like when you literally self-impose your own punishment, it says you're guilty.
It's so rare too at this moment that it even shows up at it, that this ever goes to a committee on infractions hearing. A situation like this, these things always get settled pretty much all the time, before it ever arises here.
Well, and you're right. You're right. Tennessee should have gotten way worse. Tennessee, this is the point, though. This is the NCAA now going, we're losing control. And unfortunately for Michigan, this might be the time where the NCAA says, we're back. Grows a pair, and absolutely lays down the wood. But it's going to be interesting to see. Well, let's put it that way, because this is... this could be very, very ugly. It could turn into absolutely nothing from the NCAA, or it could be very ugly for Michigan. Let's put it
They got rid of Harbaugh. That's all they were worried about.
No, what do you mean? Their president even bailed, and then he got turned down by Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, he got hired by Florida or suggested by the Regents, and then was it the president?
No, the Board of Governors or Regents, whatever.
Yeah, governors or regents turned down
the finals or whatever. They vote. They nixed.
So now he's unemployed. Yeah. So everyone was abandoning Michigan. Everyone was fucking abandoning that place. There's two. I'm counting.
Yeah, well, they have show causes against other assistants too that are also not in college football at the moment.
And then when your coach when your university imposes a 2-game ban, and you get to pick what games you want to be banned from for the coaching staff, that says guilt, and then that's crap that you pick what games.
I can't imagine what the NCAA. How big their eyes must have been. Like, okay, but we don't want to miss him to miss the big game. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'm not saying take the title. I'm not saying that at all.
The NCAA can't take the title. Exactly. The NCAA has no legislative authority over the championship. They don't crown it. They don't recognize, but they can say in the record books they don't recognize any of their wins over such a period of time. All indications are that they're probably not going to do that. They're probably not going to write down anything in the history.
I don't know. The worst they're going to do is like a couple-year bowl ban or something like that. Like that's like literally the worst. Or some scholarships.
Yeah, they could.
That's like the worst they're going to do.
And it's an interesting situation now with the way they changed the scholarships. There aren't any scholarship limits. There's just that 105 roster cap. They haven't had to deal with any of those situations since they changed that wording. So, if you lose 20, 30, if you lose 20 or 30 spots, it's not as significant as it would have been in years past. When it was 85, now it's 105. So
well, knowing how people work, like Michigan, they'll be like USC, like 15 years later, still bitching about we were down scholarships 15 years ago. We're still trying to make up. Okay, yeah.
Is that USC's problem for their last 20 years of?
They're still complaining about it.
It's a fact that they lost 15 scholarships 15 years ago. That's the whole reason why they're not any good anymore.
They're still complaining.
Right.
They're still rebuilding.
Even after they gave Reggie his Heisman back.
Which I approve of. I approve of giving back I approve of that. That's fine. I think that was stupid. That had nothing to do with the school or whatever,
Well, it had kind of everything. He was sort of the focal point of the entire.
Well, I know, but when you pull an award where a whole body of people voted you to be it.
I was in favor of them giving it back to him too, but I mean, he kind of was involved in the scandal.
Well, no, he definitely directly was. Same as Tattoo Gate, for Ohio State and stuff.
Terrell Pryor didn't win a Heisman or like anything.
Well, no. But point is, those are directly involved players with those things. So it's like,
yes, it did.
I was all in favor though with him getting the Heisman back. That was perfectly fine. I had no argument with that. I was like, yeah, give it to him. I mean, geez, who cares? Especially now, who cares? The damage has been done. Give the man his award, you know.
Jackson, you look like the new Marvel character for the new Avengers movie over there.
Thanks.
Good job.
He's like, thanks.
He was the leader, and you are our leader. You know, you're the one with all the info that gives us all the run.
You know what? I don't like Spaz's attitude tonight.
Hey, Jackson's an information juggernaut. You are just a computer geek.
Do my best.
I am definitely not a computer geek, but all right, 30 minutes in. Let's get to it, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
I should have done an intro video for the drum roll. We need to be more like Cover 3. Have some cool graphics. That's how we up this show. Gentlemen, going into 2025. Chat also, please. Chat. I can't wait for the chat to give some hot
Jack's fight one other about Michigan, Nebraska.
I know. I see it already. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for them to get into the hot takes for 2025. Oh, man.
It's a week 4 game. We know Michigan is going to have to go at it with Biff Poggi again anyway.
Let me see.
What?
Trying to think. I had a thought earlier. Actually, what I said to Jackson was, I believe it was a Friday night, correct, Jackson? If I'm not wrong, or was it Thursday?
Thursday night.
It was Thursday night
because I remember you called in on the Alabama Call-In show. Coach Smoot left to go do his show for the Coach Smoot Network channel, and I don't know anybody else that's having a smoke for a little bit.
So we'll start this off. We'll start this off with what I said that night. I will stick to it. Hot take: Iowa will score on average 31 points a game, but will give up more than that defensively.
You're high. What?
Hey!
Do
you not understand what a hot take is?
I mean, that's a.
Hot takes are supposed to be in the realm of like reality, aren't they?
No, they can be.
They
can be absolutely outlandish if you want to be.
Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat.
Yeah. Hot take. I'm going to land a double day with Jessica Alba and Sydney Sweeney.
Husker has a hot take
next week. That's my hot take.
Oh my God!
Hey, Sydney Sweeney was in Eugene twice last year, so you know.
Oh, shit.
Come to Ohio State
kids,
this year.
ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, someone had to start hot takes here. So if you're already getting arguments, then we're on the right path.
This
is what we're supposed to do: is have arguments about this.
This is the kind of show where like your kids are watching us behind your back, parents.
This is like if your kids are watching this anywhere near you and hearing this, you are an abusive parent. Like, this is wrong.
Yeah, because it's like the kids watches South Park behind the parents' back. That's what CFB After Dark is, ladies and gentlemen.
I only said something about Iowa because a lot of people are very high on Iowa this year, which I understand why, because Iowa's always kind of in that tier, but now with the divisions being gone, it's going to be Iowa's kind of an interesting team. You don't know what to expect. That's kind of what's interesting.
Well, I think there's a lot more buzz around their new quarterback, the South Dakota State guy, Gronowski.
Yeah,
here.
That's why I said they're going to score 31 on average, 31. But their defense last year took a step back, and so this year it might be more so. Phil Parker might be starting to lose it, a little bit. I don't know. How old is Phil Parker?
He's like 55.
Is he only 55? I thought he was
something like that.
No, he's older than that.
Yeah, I thought he was like mid-60s.
Husker Sean over there is Ohio State, and I am also Oregon. I'm Ben's co-host.
And I'm not Sam. Why does everyone keep calling me Sam? I'm Ben.
I don't know. That's Ben, not Sam, by the way, pit sniper.
Everyone keeps calling. I've been ignoring it in the chat. But how old is he?
62.
Okay, I thought he was like at least mid-60s. So I was like, when you said 55, I was like, oh no, he's older than that. He's been there for a long time. No offense to Phil Parker. He's a great DC. He is one of the best. So.
Oh my God, this is too funny. Like
that's a 10-year-old picture, Bean. That's from my commentary days.
This chat is just all over the place. What is happening?
Oh my God.
Yeah, my energy drink.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Spaz is shirtless. That's why he's off camera.
Yeah, you need to put a shirt on, buddy.
It's 97 degrees. I ain't wearing shit hardly.
Okay. I don't know why you felt like you had to announce that on air, but okay.
Explaining why he's not on camera. He doesn't want us to get demonetized.
Yeah.
Doing us all a service.
So that's the whole point. Hot takes. It can be anything. And I mean, I'm not saying that's not the most outrageous thing you'd ever heard, that Iowa would focus on offense, because they've been struggling with offense, and that could take a downside. But I like Phil Parker, so that's not an insult to Phil Parker by any means. I'm just saying it's funny how Iowa does that. They have a great defense, crap offense. So watch, they have a great offense, and their defense slips a little bit. It's not unheard of. So it's not even that wild to think about in some ways.
They also, I mean, they were expected to have a phenomenal defense last year. They lost a lot of their core players from their defense a year ago.
Yeah, and they took a step back, and last year's defense wasn't maybe up to par with what they're used to.
No, but I've said this about Iowa's defense for a while. A lot of it is just a product of how bad that Big Ten West was offensively for all that time. I mean, you could win games by scoring. You could win a lot of 13-10 games in that division, and you're not going to do that many places in college football.
That's a very fair assessment. When they got rid of divisions, everyone kind of went in the West Division. Went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Then there was no like, oh, we just face this team, and we maybe get Ohio State or whatever once it's like, no. Now you're now you get to face everyone at random. So that's a fair point too. That could be part of the analytics of why their defense was kind of off. Ooh.
Right.
Ooh, I like it. The best part about Drew Aller is that he's returning. Not that he's good. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I like it. Yeah, I like it. All right.
I'll say this about Drew Aller. It's like every time I watch him, I'm not that impressed. But then I look at the numbers he puts up through the years, and I'm like, those are super good.
You're shaking your head going, where are these numbers? Not what I'm seeing.
Yeah. What the hell? He's completing 71% and throwing 3 picks for the whole year. And a touchdown interception ratio of 8 or 9 to 1. I'm like, what was this?
Yeah.
I think
I don't get it neither. I don't see it in his game, but
he doesn't have those big flashy plays.
Right.
I think he's just like a consistent player and puts up this numbers and stats in a good way. There's not a downside of that, but he doesn't have those flashy plays where you're like, wow, that was a game changer.
And he hasn't delivered in any big moments for them at all. Like it's been every close game they lose like every single one of them. It comes down to him making a play or a big drive. He just hasn't come through yet for them.
Well, and is that his fault too, or is that play calling? Because I mean, obviously it's his decision to do the play, to follow through with it. But you look at the Big Ten title game, pick at the end against Oregon when they were like 2nd and 1. They could just run the ball, but he threw it deep and got picked. And then against Notre Dame, threw that really bad. That one was a really bad pick. I mean, to set Notre Dame for the game-winning field goal. So it's like he's like the James Franklin of quarterbacks.
Yep.
I made it. I can't get it. Like he's good. He's good. I'm not going to say he's not good. Obviously he's good, but yeah.
One of these times Charlie Brown is going to kick that football, right?
Good penis reference there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So is that what we're doing? Like going around giving hot takes?
Yeah.
I guess we're coming in hot.
I like hot
Jackson,
takes. Like
hot takes. Come on.
Do it. Let's go.
Bring it.
Anything. Anywhere.
I think Nebraska can go 10-2, make the playoffs in Matt Rule's 3rd year.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, their schedule's hella easy. Have you seen it?
I gotta pull it up. I should have had schedules pulled up already. Let me pull up Nebraska's. That's the one thing. It's interesting. You have to consider everyone's schedule because there are some doozies. I think we found our new team, the Huskies.
Oh yeah,
of Houston Christian.
HCU Huskies. Let's go.
Former Houston Baptist.
I mean, for them, I don't know. That schedule's not that great for Nebraska. I mean, you have Michigan. You're at.
But here's the thing, though. Sharon Moore is not coaching Michigan that week.
I think that's pretty damn easy, to be honest. I think that's about. I mean,
well, look at how good Sharon Moore is. When Jim Harbaugh was suspended, Jim Harbaugh could still coach during the week. With these suspensions, Sharon Moore can't.
Yes.
So there is a huge difference between this suspension and last year's suspensions. But still, Michigan is not going to be easy. Michigan State, that's one of those games they could easily lose. It's just how it is with Nebraska. At Minnesota for them is not going to be great. Back-to-back road games at Maryland, at Minnesota, not great. Then USC at Penn State. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see 10 wins there.
I could see them being 10-0 going into that Penn State game very easily. But say like the thing is that's like assuming sort of the natural Matt Rule trajectory. I could see them being 6-4 going into that game too, but I don't know. I'm kind of with Jackson on this one. I think that this is a year that a lot comes together. They got to figure a few things out, like up front defensively. They lost quite a bit, and that was a strength of the team last year. But you expect Dylan Raiola if he's anywhere close to the hype. He had a good freshman season, and usually those type of players take a big jump from freshman to sophomore year. So if he's an elite player, they should be able to win most, if not all, of those first 10 games. Because I mean, I don't think any of them are all that good. Even Michigan. I think Michigan is still kind of like a borderline top 25 team too. So.
Well, like 2024, we looked at that, right? And it was a close loss to Illinois. Yeah, they got smacked by Indiana off the face of the earth. There are people throwing the baby out with the bathwater and the Cornhuskers, but people pay attention to them a bit when they had that close loss to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Things were down for a bit because they lost to UCLA, and then they lost to USC. But here's where things started to really go up. When they ended that losing streak to Wisconsin, which dated back to the 2012 Big Ten title game, where they got smacked off the face of the earth. Now, that may not be a big deal to some people, but it's a big deal for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And, they went back to bowl eligibility. I mean, I know being Boston College is not a big deal for some people, but it's a momentum setter for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Well, and you look at the third-year jump. 2015, going in there. Now, Matt Rule was there at Temple 2 years, 2-10 his first year, 6-6 his second year.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have a humongous season. Let's take a look at 2015. They beat Penn State on ESPN. They have a good one against Cincy. Then they keep going unbeaten, They're unbeaten going into Notre Dame on Halloween night. Notre Dame scores game-winning touchdown against them with College Game Day in town. Yeah, they come up short of the AAC by losing to Houston. But the fourth year, they win the AAC. Then he goes to Baylor, which is basically an impossible situation. Nobody's going to win there because, everybody's, jetted the hell out because of the incompetence of Ken Starr, the incompetence of Art Briles with
that situation. Yeah.
Exactly. The nasty misconduct allegations, where there were a bunch of women doing messed up stuff, But when Matt Rule took over, with the exception of one coach, none of them were from the state of Texas. 1-11 start off his tenure. Then that second year, they go 7-6, win the Texas Bowl against Vanderbilt. Once again, nobody thinks about the Texas Bowl against Vanderbilt, but you're going to wish you had because the Baylor Bears go to the Big 12 title game. Lose a tight one, though. They lose to Oklahoma twice, but that's okay. They go to the Sugar Bowl. Winning is back in Waco, Texas. But then you see Matt Rule going to the NFL. Panthers, impossible situation. Is what it is. But you're going to see this guy win again. You're going to see him bring awesomeness to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now, there's not going to be 3 natties in 4 years. Relax. No worries. Not happening. And plus, it's too damn tight in the Big Ten. There's not going to be repeat winners in that conference. No, there's not going to be repeat winners in the Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, or the SEC. Nobody's going to have repeat winners. But I will tell you this. You got to be a top 4 team in the Big Ten or the SEC to be a playoff team. With that schedule that Nebraska has, they can be a playoff team. Again, Cincinnati, Scott Satterfield sucks. Michigan, huge unknown with Sharon Moore being suspended for weeks 3 and 4. Now, Maryland, dire situation for Mike Lotzley. The boss that hired him, gone to SMU. Minnesota, the broken chair, the $5 broken chair trophy game, Friday night on Fox. A little bit before Family Guy reruns or reruns of syndicated old sitcoms. You get a little Nebraska, Minnesota. That's going to be a good one. You're going to want to watch that game. And there's a revenge game against UCLA November 8th. Northwestern, USC. USC, we don't really know what version of USC we're going to get. We really don't know what version of USC we're going to get. But you got the Penn State Nittany Lions the week before rivalry week. And you got the Iowa Hawkeyes on rivalry week. That's been trouble trying to beat those Iowa Hawkeyes. But this year, the third time could be a charm. It's a possibility.
It's all possible. That's kind of the fun thing about this, because that's it. Like you just said, we don't know what to expect from this team. We don't know what to expect from this team. We don't know a lot about some of these teams. That's the fun thing about it. I like it.
No, but I do like this trajectory argument here. And the fact, the schedule, I mean, they can definitely afford to lose at Happy Valley. Like that's an expected loss there, but the rest of them. I mean, tell me a game that a team will be favored by more than a field goal against them.
Scroll up, Jackson, if you will.
Yeah. Find a game where anybody they play will be favored by more than a field goal.
I think it depends on how Michigan looks the first few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it will depend all on that Oklahoma game from Michigan.
Yeah. I think it depends on how they look.
Yeah. But I mean, Michigan. This is not 2023 Michigan coming in.
No.
Yeah, this is not. So that's in Lincoln. It will be a 3:30 game now. So yeah, yes, I like. So yeah, sets up well for Nebraska to be a playoff. They miss all kind of like the high rated teams. They don't just miss Ohio State and Oregon too. They miss kind of like the high projected teams in the middle too. No Iowa, no Illinois. I mean, no Illinois, no Indiana for them either. Those are kind of underrated, aversions too.
I kind of see I see the take a little bit more with Nebraska now. I kind of get it. It just depends on if they start hot. If they don't, it could spiral out of control. Like, just imagine if they lost to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That season would spiral out of control potentially.
Hey, don't mess with the Bearcats. That might be the one game that should lose. Yeah.
I mean, of their
that is kind of that will be a strong litmus test because Cincinnati is not a bad team. They'll be as good as most of the teams they play in conference, or right about that level. So, if they show up and they kick ass and take names in Arrowhead, I think you can expect big things from them this year. If they struggle, maybe it's typical Nebraska.
Yeah, it's all possible. I mean, that's it. There's a lot of teams that we're looking at have huge question marks, and we don't know what we're going to expect, or questionable coaches. Stereotypical Buckeye. I mean, shocking, a stereotypical Buckeye.
Yes.
The NCAA will either bring the hammer or do nothing, thereby pissing everyone off. That is true. Either way, it's going to piss people off, no matter what they do.
There'll be a there'll be a few people coming in on the Alabama college calling in about that. They'll be like, okay, I'll play therapist for about 5 minutes or so.
Kevin DeBoer gets gone by the end of the year. That's my hot take. Alabama loses at least 3 games this year.
Yikes! Wow.
Well, you think a 9-3 season he's gone?
I think the board at Alabama, if he goes 9-3, says out.
Ooh, this is a Jackson area of take. I actually had a thing where I was going to say they don't make the playoffs and he's on the hot seat, but Spaz straight up said he out. I don't know. This is a Jackson argument here.
He's all good.
What do you got, Jackson? Come on.
You think that's it? He's all good.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Grubb is the offensive coordinator for Bama, right?
See? That's exactly.
No, that's going to be a huge improvement, though. I think they've always worked well together. Now they're back together.
But what do you got? You got no proven quarterback to run Grubb's system, though.
Well, we're either going to have Ty Simpson or we're going to have Keelan Russell.
Ty Simpson? Come on, you know better than that.
I think it is Ty Simpson. I think it is.
Well, we'll know more by the time it gets close to week 1. We will know more by the time it gets close to week 1.
Okay, if it's Ty Simpson, how many games do you think before there's a switch, Jackson?
Regardless of who's the QB, I think we can have a 10-2 season / 11-1 season. I think we can finish in the top 4 of the SEC, get into the playoffs. We can be good enough, go to the semifinals.
Penn State.
That's not a hot take. That's facts.
That's just, yeah. So, okay.
I think Keelan Russell will be a starter.
How long do you think Ty becomes? How long do you think he stays the starter if he has inconsistencies?
Whoever the starter is for this season, Spaz, I think that's going to be the starter for the full season.
Ooh, okay.
So this won't be a Blake. This won't be Blake.
Saban where he pulls him 3 games in because he has a bad game and puts him back in 2 games later. He'll just stick.
No. This ain't Florida State from 2024.
Well, I was thinking more of 2016. Was it 2016 where who was it that Blake started and they pulled him after that game basically, or who was it that started in like 2016 against USC and then they pulled him?
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah. No, Hurts. Wait, he didn't. Hurts wasn't the starter in that game.
Jalen Hurts came in. Yes.
Yeah.
So I thought Hurts was the starter in that game. Was it Blake Barnett?
Yeah.
Was it Barnett?
The guy who went to South Florida. Yeah. I know he was at Bama before. I didn't know he ever started for them.
Yeah, he started and then he got pulled basically.
Okay.
But they also did that with Hurts and Tagovailoa in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that was Saban. So
I mean, that's not DeBoer. You don't think DeBoer's a Saban type of coach? He'll stick no matter what.
I think if he doesn't stick, he'll probably switch. But I think whoever the QB is going to be, we're going to be very happy. Honestly, they're going to be happy, especially with the weapons they got on offense.
Ooh.
Okay.
There's a
I've got like another hot take involving this. This is a hotter take than I think either one of you two. I think Georgia loses 3 games and is playoff 3 to 4 games, and they're like a cuspy playoff team at the end.
Well, I mean,
may get that last spot, they may not.
Well, I mean, it would make sense because I mean, Mike Bobo is a dog shit offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Well, and they either literally have a true freshman or they're just going with their crap. What's his name after
the guy who came in?
He started with he did Notre Dame. The Notre Dame game.
Texas game. No, he came in. He came in against Texas in the SEC championship.
Oh yeah, but he did the Notre Dame game too, and he just couldn't run the ball at all.
Yeah.
Crap, what is his name?
Yeah, it's amazing. I can't pull it to say my life.
Yeah, totally just
a complete blank. Yeah. And that was just a few months ago. He was the talk of the town after that SEC championship game. Yeah, I think I thought they were offensively limited last year, and I don't see how that changes at all this year. And I think they suffered pretty significant defensive losses as well. I just don't think, I just don't think the program's in a good emotional, psychological place at all.
It's Stockton.
Gunner Stockton.
Yeah.
Gunner, that's right.
Yeah. That's why I was like, why can I not think of his name?
Yeah. There are too many quarterbacks named Gunner.
It's a good quarterback name. It is a good quarterback.
Well, if you have a name like that and you're a quarterback, it tells me that you were bred to be a quarterback. Like you've got a dad living vicariously, potentially through you, as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
I don't trust those guys ever. So yeah,
I can see where you're right, Sean. Because number one, Georgia's offensive coordinator Mike Bobo is once again dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how he is. It's just typical of him. And the fact of the matter is, they're always losing to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Their only win, since Kirby Smart became head coach, was the 2022 national title. That's it. But ever since 2007, the only two wins are 2007, where Matthew Stafford threw a game-winning touchdown in overtime against the Alabama Crimson Tide on September 22nd, 2007, with Mike Patrick and Todd Blackledge talking a little bit about Britney Spears ruining her life that night. And, it went all downhill from there for the Bulldogs on the blackout for a knockout. They cannot get things done against the Crimson Tide. And every time you see somebody go to Auburn, it gets ugly for ranked top 25 teams against the Auburn Tigers.
Right.
And the Florida Gators, had DJ Lagway not gotten hurt, they almost would have beaten they would have beaten the Georgia Bulldogs in a way, or at least really kept it close.
They almost beat them with a walk-on.
Yeah.
Like a quarterback that literally was not on scholarship last year almost beat them. I mean, their conference, their non-conference isn't that tough. They've got the game with Georgia Tech, and that is what it is. The rest of it's a cakewalk. But their in-conference schedule is freaking hellacious. I mean, this is brutal.
Yeah, it is at Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, and at Auburn, Ole Miss, then Florida, Mississippi State, and Texas. I mean, they have their buys are laid out pretty nicely, at least.
Oh, when it gets to week 6, you look at that week 6 lineup. ESPN's going to be saying to themselves, "I wish we kept MLB."
What day is week 6? Is that the 11th?
That's the 4th of October. You're going to see Alabama, Vanderbilt, Texas, Florida, and Georgia, Kentucky. Those are the only known games for that week. And there's some piece of crap game on there. Kent State, Oklahoma. That's what I thought. And Mississippi State, Texas A&M. 4 conference games and 1 crappy non-con game. Sorry, Mark. I know Kent State, you're on my. Sorry, but
Mark said he went to 1 Kent State game. I remember him saying his first week on campus, never went to another one the entire time he was there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think I've heard that before. Yeah, he was not a huge Kent State game goer.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, I mean, I'm biased for Bama, Adam. So
I think that's it's a hot take, but it's not extremely outrageous. Let's put it that way. Because I don't know. Georgia's an interesting team this year. Here's a good one. I'm going to step away as a neutral party to this question or hot take from Sharice, because otherwise everyone will just call me a hater, and I am. But let her rip, everyone. USC is not making the playoffs this year.
Is there a single person in America predicting USC to make the playoffs?
A lot of people.
Really?
USC fans. I'm stepping away. I'm a neutral party. I'm stepping away. I'm a neutral party in this. I don't know. USC has a lot of different things to prove. It's not that their offense isn't good. It's not their defense isn't okay. It's in-game play calling that screws them repeatedly. You have a good run game. Why are you throwing the ball 50 times a game? You know, that's where I think the adjustment needs to come from for Lincoln Riley.
God, if he ever could have had like a Deonton Len defense those years when he was clinging on to Alex Grinch at Oklahoma and at USC, Like the magic he had with some of those quarterbacks, some of those offenses, it was just wasted.
Well, that's
all those years because you had like historically bad defenses.
Well, and that's what I mean. And then so now you have a very much improved defense, very much improved defense, and you are still making stupid play calls.
Yeah, but I mean, like they don't have the firepower that they've had. That the Oklahoma
don't throw the ball 50 times. Run the ball. Don't throw it 50 times. Then that's what cost them multiple times. They throw the ball like over and over and over and over again, and for no reason. That's what cost them definitely 2 or 3 games.
Oh yeah. They can't even really put games on ice. That's what you need to do, especially in the Big Ten.
See, even Trojan fight is like run game consistent. Yes, but they didn't try most of the time. That's part of the problem. Like you just didn't try half the time. You'd abandon it. Like for instance, Washington, no run defense. They had a crappy run defense. They had a great pass defense. What do? Throw the ball 50 times. Why? Why are you throwing against one of the best secondaries?
Well, they scored a crap load of points in that game, didn't they?
No, it was like 31.
Last year. Never mind. It was that. Oh, you're talking about last year. I forget. I have no idea what happened in the USC Washington game last year because
it was like 28-24 or 31-27 or something like that. It was I mean, the point is Washington stuffed them on 4th and goal though, for the to like basically end the game, or something like that, as I recall. But
yeah, I remember 2 years ago when they played. That was a blind bet the over game. Like,
that was like 52-45 or something like that.
Something like that. I was like, they're going to be more points there than whatever line they're going to put on this is. So just bet your paycheck on the over.
Yeah, those were both different teams, but yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, that was Penix and all those great receivers that they had going on.
Yeah.
Washington.
Ooh. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, like about the Georgia thing. I mean, yeah. See. I think there's a lot of legs to this. I think this could be like one of those super disappointing seasons. And how is the fan base going to react to that if they go like 8-4 this year? I think it's very possible.
I think that 8-4 too. Are they close losses, competitive, and also are they still in the championship game? Where are those losses?
No, because the losses are going to come in conference this year unless they lose to Georgia Tech.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you add in Georgia Tech potentially, that doesn't affect you. And then
you're not going to lose 3 games. You're not going to lose 3 games and get to the championship game in a 16-team league with no divisions. Like that's not going to happen.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt makes the SEC title game behind Bobby.
There we go.
There we go. Now we're going. Now we're getting somewhere.
How about this? Diego Pavia wins a court case to get permanent eligibility.
Yes. The Pavia rule.
Yes.
Oh Lord, Vanderbilt getting an SEC title, that would be something.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah,
it would be wild.
We need more goalposts being brought down the middle of super busy downtowns and thrown into the rivers. I mean, we just need more of them.
Never won an SEC title in the history since the SEC started in 1932.
By the way,
last time they won a conference title was 1923 in the Roaring '20s.
Oh, by the way, if we're talking about Vanderbilt, give a shout out to the Wright State Raiders. They eliminated the number 1 Vanderbilt ranked in the country, Vanderbilt Commodores baseball team from the College World Series. Good old Wright State from Fairborn, Ohio, named after the Wright brothers.
Yeah. I haven't paid attention to softball or baseball since Oregon got eliminated because we can't have nice things as Duck fans.
Yeah, well, Vanderbilt got eliminated too. They thought they were going to win the national title. Sucks to be a Commodore or a Duck, or really anybody in the Big Ten's awful at baseball. So
I was like, we're all out, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, long out. Yeah, we're.
Spaz, we need a hot take. Let's go. Something.
Let's
sensible.
hear your take, Spaz.
He already gave it.
The Beavers are 6 outs away from making it to the College World Series.
They're always good.
Yeah, baseball. It's about the only thing they are good at.
Yeah, I was like, the Beavers are always good at baseball. They're solid every year.
So I had one hot take. I need to come up with another one?
Yes. What are you doing? Do you think you have one thing to do a show and that's it? No.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would just show up and
Nobody
do nothing.
wants to hear me.
Uh-oh. Is that... Okay.
That's Austin.
Yeah, Austin. Okay, Austin saved your ass. Kentucky's going 8-4.
One too. Damn it.
What does Kentucky's schedule look like?
It's just... It's a dung heap.
I don't know. 8-4? I don't know about that. If they make it through their first...
He said hot take. It's his hot take.
5, 6, 7. If they make it through 7 weeks with only one loss, 1 or 2 losses, I would be amazed. Their schedule is woof. I mean, not in a good way. Like Jackson, where is it? Pull up
here we go.
Kentucky here. It's brutal.
Here we go. So we're getting a countdown: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is now 75 days in Eastern time. It is now 75 days until week 0, 80 days until week 1, 81 days until Colorado, Georgia Tech, Auburn, Baylor, 82 days till week 1 Saturday, 83 days till Notre Dame, Miami, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, and 84 days until the start of the Bill Belichick era between the North Carolina Tar Heels and the TCU Horned Frogs. Now, let's go back to Kentucky's schedule.
Kentucky's is not the first part of the schedule is not nice. Yeah, Toledo, okay, Eastern Michigan got it. Ole Miss at South Carolina.
Let me tell you, both of those Toledo and Eastern Michigan games, those are not like absolute layups. Well, those are legit competition. Those are legit.
I'm just looking at their SEC stuff, though.
I know.
At South Carolina, back-to-back at South Carolina, at Georgia, and then please continue down because then you've got Texas, Tennessee, at Auburn, Florida. I don't know. That's pretty.
Yeah. I mean, this would be a super impressive schedule to run through 8-4. Yeah, they miss like kind of all the fat in the outside of like Vanderbilt in the SEC. Like the rest of them are all kind of contenders.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty rough. Even for me, I'm like, yikes. Yeah, that's not nice. That's not nice.
That's. Although Austin did call that Florida, when we all wrote Florida off, said they were going to win like 3 games last year. He said, they're going to make a bowl game, and Billy Napier's going to survive. And I laughed at him. I think everyone did. And was Florida 8-4? I don't think they were quite that good.
Well, they were 7-5, but they ended the regular season with that 8th win.
Or they had the bowl win, not the regular season.
Well, I mean, it's easy to crush a team like Tulane when their quarterback became a tight end after that game. Former 5-star Ty Thompson from Oregon. 2 coaching staff said he couldn't be a quarterback. They were right.
Yeah.
They were right.
How do you get a 5-star committed as a quarterback in 2 schools he plays with?
No, 2 staffs and a second school even.
Yeah, and they're like, this kid isn't even a 2-star. How does that happen?
That's brutal. It's one of the worst misses.
That probably would have been Tim Tebow if Urban and Dan Mullen didn't come to Florida. That probably would have been his career.
Ty Thompson has to go down as one of the worst Oregon misses in the sense of
yeah.
Well, his pro career was kind of that way, so yeah, I could see. Yeah.
Oh, Tebow. Tebow won a playoff game. Hey, come on, give him that.
Russell Wilson is another prodigy. He's a prodigy of the Pete Carroll system.
Russell Wilson?
Oh, Russell Wilson was just good. He was.
He's been absolute dog shit since.
Well, he got old. He got old.
Oh, yeah.
Wilson was good in college. Yeah. He was good in college too.
Well, Russell Wilson, yeah, he was just a good quarterback, a very good quarterback.
He left Seattle and can't do shit.
Well, Aaron Rodgers left fucking Wisconsin. There's 3.
Exactly.
Hasn't done anything.
3 F-bombs.
That's like 3.
Yeah, you used the first F-bomb at the 1st minute. You used second F-bomb at the 26-minute marker, and you used the third F-bomb.
I'm timing Austin out. Austin, I've had enough of your shenanigans. Kidding. I won't do it. I'll be nice.
Wait. What happens if you go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
So is Adam still in the chat? Are we all still all meeting up for the Rutgers Oregon?
Oh, that's a good update. I was going to tell Spaz it.
Are we all going to get Chantal scalp massages and therapy sessions?
Wow.
Sure.
Wow. Yeah. Are we asking Belichick his favorite New Jersey massage parlor place?
No, we're going to have linguine and pasta.
Yes.
That was a huge update. That was a huge update, Spaz. Because if Adam's still not here, I will not be there. I will be actually flying back from El Salvador that day.
Wait. What? Wait. You've already been sentenced and you know how long you're at CCOT for?
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Now we'll be there visiting for that week for like 6 days. So that's the day I'll be flying back. So I was like, I guess I can't go to New Jersey now. Oh no. Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I have to go down with the in-laws and Sam to see family down there. See some of his family and our property and stuff. Yes. So I will be in Salvador. I haven't been down in 2 years.
So the diddler.
Yeah, I haven't been down in 2 years, so I was like, yes, okay, I'll go this time. I haven't been available before last 2 years, so got to go down and see family.
Sean, so you going to join me midway and fly up to Rutgers? Are we going up there?
Ooh.
It's possible. I have to figure out what weekend that is.
That is the 18th, October 18th.
Hopefully it'll work out. It might not. There's a tournament, a poker tournament. It's usually like right around that time. I think it's the week earlier though. So hopefully.
Oh, you're the new Unabomber. Okay.
Damn it.
At the poker tournaments, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn
what?
it.
No, that's his name. That's what they call him.
Phil Lockett.
Poker. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about George Carlin talking about how that's one of his favorite people.
Oh God.
Dude, that guy's a stud at the poker tables. Are you a stud at the poker tables, Sean?
I do okay.
You do all right?
I do all right.
Sean's not a stud at anything.
How many tournaments you enter a year?
A few. I don't know. I play a lot of cash games, mainly, but that's a big one. I won $5,000 a couple weeks ago. So
nice.
Nice.
But so you play a lot of the bingo balls.
But don't always announce how much you win on air because like
why do we have IRS bugs in the
Jackson's a spy for Musk, don't you know?
You don't want some thief trying to club you on the head, trying to take your money and run. That's why.
All right, cool.
Like when you win, like I'll always make sure do what you've been doing. That's what I say.
Yeah.
You ever come into big money, like really big money, like a huge lottery win, for example, or a huge inheritance, or like a huge stock win. Do what you've been doing for the full year. Only use it for emergencies, like stuff that you need for your family.
That's right.
And once that full year's up, they can have all the fun you want, if you want. But be smart with your money. That's wise.
I say use one indulgence on it. One thing. Take a vacation that you always wanted to take by yourself.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, one indulgence. One indulgence.
I don't know.
And then find an advisor. Put it away.
Yeah. I don't know if this is off money. Spaz is texting me like a freaking maniac over here for some reason off screen, and I'm just ignoring it. I don't know if this is a hot take, to be honest, because I think this is actually pretty realistic. But I appreciate the comment here. Ole Miss will make the playoffs this year. I don't know if that's really a hot take. I wouldn't be surprised to a degree.
No, I mean, well, Lane Kiffin will find a way if he can to get them in the playoffs. If crying helped you get into the playoffs, they're a lock.
No.
Who's here?
I agree with you all. I don't think I agree with you all. I don't think this is a hot take, but I feel like it's going to be difficult because there is a hodgepodge of SEC teams that can make a legitimate case to be a playoff team. You've got, of course, your Georgias, you've got your Bamas, you've got your Texases. Oklahoma seems to have found new life again. We'll see what happens with them. Missouri, I mean, it's South Carolina. I mean, it's a whole hodgepodge.
Missouri? Is Missouri in this discussion here?
Yeah, Missouri won 10 games last year, remember? And they were awful.
But they had the worst schedule of all time.
Well, I know, but you still have to win games.
You still have to win them.
Well, it's easier to beat bad teams than it is to beat good teams. Shocking revelation about football. Good teams are hard to beat.
And I will say in Missouri's defense, though, them winning 10 games is really hard to do if we think about it, because they have not had the success of doing that a lot. So I give them a lot of credit for doing that back-to-back years.
It's a good accomplishment for what they are as a program. But think about that. Were they 10-2 in the regular season, or were they 9-3?
Were they 9-3? Let me see here.
Let's see.
Missouri last year.
Last year
they were 9-3.
I think it was 9. Yeah, maybe it was 9-3.
Okay. So, but they were 9-3, and so were Alabama and Ole Miss. But Missouri wasn't within a country mile of the playoff discussion. They didn't come close. No one was considering them at all
because they had one or two really super bad losses on there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but so did Alabama, and they were in the run. They're like, we should make the playoffs. Like, you got basically almost shut out by Oklahoma. Shut up.
And listen, and this is no excuse for Missouri, but if you go back and watch the game they played Alabama, they were beat up pretty bad on both sides of the ball.
Oh, when they didn't score at all? When they lost 38 or whatever it was?
Yes. Brady Cook, he was hurt. Their receiver, he was on a bad hamstring. They had no running back depth. Their defense was beat all to heck. Bama was basically like the vultures and just picked what was left. So I kind of excuse that, even though it's no excuse, though.
I am looking at their schedule, and it is pretty manageable, except for the fact that they do have to play Kansas out of conference. So bring back that border war.
Yeah, but what will Kansas be this year? Because last year they were very disappointing.
Well, I mean, they were up and down. I mean, they were
up and down for sure. They were very disappointing.
There are high hopes for Kansas this year. They're probably in they're in a lot of top 25s preseason coming into the season. So yeah, they play South Carolina, Ole Miss, A&M, and then a lot of the weaker teams in the SEC. So. But yeah, they're not really a threat to do much of anything. I don't think.
So I'm gonna bring this hot take up because I think it's a good one. The ACC will have 2 teams in the playoffs again this year.
I mean, I don't think that. I don't know. I kind of feel like Clemson. Everyone's kind of has Clemson as a lock this year. Like Clemson is up there among the top teams in the country, coming projected.
I mean,
they've got the senior quarterback and a bunch of highly rated, prospects coming back there. They're going to be in the top 5 in every preseason poll. So who's that second other team?
Well. So there's 4 teams currently we can look at. You've got, of course, Georgia Tech, SMU, Miami, and then, of course, you've got my team, Louisville. Pick from those 4.
Well,
I'm not taking Miami. Like, I just don't trust Miami. I don't trust Cristobal, and I don't trust that university at all. I don't know. Between the rest of them, I mean, I could definitely see one of them sneaking up and having an 11-win year, a feisty kind of 2020. Why won't it be Louisville? Just because Austin's here?
Louisville. We're a baseball and basketball school, not a football school.
Hey, listen, we have a Heisman winner, Spaz. We're football too. Let's not get it twisted. I will say though, don't be surprised. North Carolina might win 8-9 games this year. Don't be surprised at that either, because of Bill Belichick's pedigree. Everyone, talks about North Carolina and they know their offense. Bill Belichick's going to upgrade that defense. North Carolina's going to be a completely different team. Don't be shocked if they're 8-9 wins and playing for the right to go to the ACC title game in Charlotte.
You think Jordan's going to turn them around that quickly?
I think Bill Belichick can do it. With his pedigree,
wow.
I think he can.
That's a hot take in itself.
Wait, North Carolina winning 8 games? I feel like anybody in the ACC could win 8 games. I'm going to look at Syracuse a little bit deeper because I think they got they've got a hot up and coming coach. They've got one of the. Got the recruiting.
I know everyone likes to pick on Belichick after Brady left, but he did have that one successful season with Mac Jones and company, and I think he can replicate that in North Carolina. Even though they lost their running back, Omar Hampton, I feel like if North Carolina can get a running game, it will immensely help that defense that hopefully he can improve. And North Carolina can legit make some scares in the ACC. I know it may be the Bill Belichick effect, but I think North Carolina could make some scares.
Okay. So, oh man, Syracuse, they've got Tennessee and Notre Dame in their non-con schedule.
Ooh, that's a brutal non-con.
Ugh.
Yick.
Yeah, and their conference schedule. I look at it too. It's just they don't have like the Wake Forest and the Dukes on there. I don't think.
No.
In the Virginias, they don't have those type of teams. No. So, yeah, but tough road to hoe for Fran Brown, but
I mean,
maybe.
This could be another hot take, but Ohio State could go 9-3 this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they definitely could lose to both Texas and Penn State. Like, those are very losable games. And then you find, then you just have to find one other game that they can lose. And obviously, there's that one game that they've had trouble with recently.
I could see.
But
here's the thing: I could see Rutgers maybe upsetting them the week before rivalry week.
Can't overlook much, but that's a very low percentage probability.
I mean, when the thing too with the Big Ten is I know a lot of people are on record now saying
Honestly, it's got to fit. Ohio State's got some things to put together. I still think the top end, they've got maybe the two best players in the entire country. The best offensive end. Yeah. So there's a long way.
I would say this though, when it comes to the Big Ten, I think it's Penn State, Ohio State, and then you kind of have the next tier after that. And
I think Oregon's in there. I think Oregon's right there. I think Oregon's right in that conversation with both of those teams.
I want to see what their quarterback situation's looking like. That's what scares me about them. And they lost their receiver, Evan Stewart. That concerns me as well. That's why I'm kind of doubtful on Oregon.
We got Jeremiah Smith 2.0. DeCorian Moore.
Shit.
I still. We talked about this on Friday. I don't know how much any team, no matter what team it is, true freshmen's coming out like that. It's that's a lot to ask of a true freshman. Can he do it? Maybe, but that's a lot to put on.
Well, the thing about, if you were following Jeremiah Smith's recruitment and watching him, in high school, following him, it was pretty clear that he was different. Like there was a different level of expectation. It wasn't just that he's the number one receiving prospect this year. It's like this guy's special. This guy's generational. Like in a totally different class. It's like when LeBron came out. Okay, there's virtually no chance whatsoever he isn't going to be successful. He's a slam dunk.
Well,
I don't think there's that same buzz with DeCorian Moore. I'm not saying he won't be right. He very well could be, but
he's very good. Obviously, he was the number one for a reason. But I will agree with Austin. I think there is the tier, and I agree with you. I think Oregon's kind of in that mix of right on the edge of the top 2 to 3 in the Big Ten. Then there's a slight gap, and then there's a huge drop, though. After the next 2 or 3 teams, there's a huge drop in the Big Ten. When you go to your Rutgers and so, it's a huge drop off.
And the other thing I wonder, as far as a hot take goes, my hot take was Indiana for real? Like that's what I want to know, because we're going to find out, because Indiana plays a much harder schedule this year. They play Penn State. They play, I believe, Oregon. So we're going to find out what they're made of. So everyone's saying Indiana's in tier 2. Well, guess what? They're going to have 2 chances to prove it this year.
Yeah. When they face legit defensive competition, their offense completely died. It was non-functional. The Ohio State game, the Notre Dame game. Those were just pathetic offensive performances.
Their O line was trash in those games.
Oh yeah, you just can't. And I mean, they ran kind of a gimmicky system really, really well last year. It was just pure RPO, tons of slants. Got the ball out really quickly.
And one thing I will.
We'll see. I think they're going to have to be a little bit more honest and actually have to develop, a real skill set this year as a team. I thought it was a good shape how they succeeded on offense at least last year. Defensively, I think they will be legit again.
Well, and again, credit Signetti and bringing all the guys he did that they know and they worked a system that worked. And like what Jordan said is betting on Mendoza to be the quarterback. I mean, he's going to be the guy. They brought him in from Cal for a reason. I think he's better than what he even did at Cal. And at Cal, he was pretty good this last year. That's just the curse of Justin Wilcox as a head coach. Now put him under Signetti. I think he can be. They'll unleash him a little bit.
Well, I mean, like it's. I don't know if there's a lot of unleashing in that system as a. They kind of count on you to be a robot a little bit. It is just you make a read and you make a decision and you get the ball out really quickly.
Well, I know, but going from the Cal system, that's what I mean. Like they'll let him actually throw the ball. Because at Cal, Mendoza was good, but I think he has a lot more potential than the Wilcox system, so to say, would allow him to show.
And what I want to say about this too is I feel like Indiana this year is going to win a lot of games off the back of their defense. I feel like because they returned almost, I think it was 85% production, one of the most in the Big Ten, I believe it was. So their defense is going to be extremely good again. A lot of games, it's going to be on their back because I feel like the first 3 games, of course, are their cupcakes, and they'll win those games going away. But the real test will be like when they play the Iowas, the Penn States, the Oregons, when they get in the meat of the matters, the Michigan States. And, I mean, we're going to find out a lot about them.
Well, I do agree. I do concur with their defense. I think their defense should be really, really good. I think they should be fantastic this year again. And in the games where they got kind of beaten down, it wasn't the defense's fault. The defense, fought valiantly against Ohio State and Notre Dame. But, there's only so much you can do when your offense can't get a first down.
Yeah. The playoff game against Notre Dame, I don't blame any of that on their defense. I think their defense did pretty good. I mean, they gave up the one big run, but other than that, you really can't fault the defense for anything else. It was their offense. The Michigan game, their offense was putrid. The defense
the second half, the second half once they kind of got it beat on it.
Yeah, it was their offensive line was the major issue against some of those the heavier teams that they faced. It was their offensive line. They just they could not hold up.
And it was probably kind of a problem that was there the whole year, but it didn't really reveal itself because they kind of developed a system that concealed, the flaws of the offensive line. It's a very quick game.
If you want to reach into the bag of hot takes for the season, despite a coaching turnover by a general manager, Stanford Cardinals will go bowling this season.
Cardinals?
Oh, don't.
Who are the Stanford Cardinals?
Will go bowling.
Stanford haunts me, Ben. Don't say that.
I was going to say. Remember, this is a Stanford team. As bad as they were last year, took out Louisville at home in front of all 20 people in the stands. They are beginning to unleash the Stanford curse from the Pac-12 onto the ACC, and with Andrew Luck at the helm as GM, and now with Wright as the interim coach, I think they will will their way in the ACC to go bowling.
That's one of the more interesting situations. You hire an interim head coach for one season,
right?
I mean, I guess that did happen kind of late, that Troy Taylor firing, but I guess they didn't want to hire commit to a full-time coach at that point. But
which is interesting because normally you just go with your DC or OC and give them an interim tag. But you went out, got Frank Wright for 1 year, and it's going to be very interesting. But I think that it's a system that Andrew Luck likes, which I think is important. Stanford has to find a system that works again for them. I think that's important.
Well, I think it's a person that he has a good relationship with, and that he.
Well, that too, obviously.
That's.
So
and
Trojan,
all the Trojan fans though in the chat, Stanford will eventually curse the ACC, and they will be a plague of your existence, just like a thorn in your side, constantly.
So, I've got another hot take for you guys. Are you ready to hear this one? Texas Tech will win the Big 12.
Ooh.
I could see it. I could see anybody winning the Big 12. I mean, the team that was picked last in the Big 12 won it last year, so
that's true. See, I was going to start the show with saying Kansas State is going to win, and I was like, that's not really a hot take. I was like, there's like 5 teams that could easily probably win the Big 12 this year.
No.
Kansas State, Texas Tech, Iowa State, I think still is in there. Arizona State probably should be in there. And then throw in one other team.
Are we buying
Cincinnati?
the Baylor hype? Are we buying the Baylor hype? I've heard good things about Baylor.
I don't know. Anything can happen in that league. It's
Baylor should be better this year. They started off really slow last year, but I think the Big 12 is like literally like a coin flip. I could throw who knows?
Go ahead. Yeah. So I want to ask you what's more likely as a hot take: the ACC gets 2 teams, or the Big 12 gets 2 teams?
Ooh.
I think the Big 12 getting 2 teams. I doubt it. This year, they're going to beat each other up too much. It's going to be 2 teams that are that lose 2. Was it last year? It was Arizona State and Iowa State. They both lost 2 games in conference play. I believe they did. It's going to be something like that. These 2.
That's interesting. That's an interesting question.
Nobody's got enough distance in that conference to. I don't think. I mean, a lot of people are really high on Arizona State because they're always really high on the team that finished the year hot the year before,
and they have their quarterback back.
Right.
Obviously, they lose Scatterboo, so that's a huge loss. But they do bring back one of their key receivers, so that's good. Yeah. The ACC, I mean,
Scatterboo's backup wasn't too bad.
No, but the ACC, Clemson, they're the favorite, obviously. I don't think Miami's going to be as good. Their defense might be better, but their offense is going to take a step back. I'm sorry. Carson Beck is not Cam Ward, and Cam Ward made magic for them. That was the only reason they even freaking were in most of those games, to be honest. Outside of that, you have SMU that should be pretty good again with Jennings coming back and a lot of their key guys. Louisville will be obviously in the talks, in the mix. And then what? North Carolina?
Georgia Tech
should be in there. North Carolina could surprise. You never know. I mean, you never know. Don't count the Belichicks. NC State, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here with NC State. Get out of here.
They are due with the bounce back season.
This is true. Every few years they have that one really good year.
Well, I'll be.
It's always that they never beat anyone good.
Yeah.
NC State. Every time they get any marquee showdown, they just get whacked like every single time.
Gentlemen, I'll be heading off. Y'all have a good night.
All right, Jackson.
See y'all soon.
Appreciate it, Jackson. We'll see you hopefully in a couple of weeks. Have a good night, Jackson.
We're almost done here anyway, probably, right?
Hopefully.
So I've come prepared. I've got 2 more hot takes for y'all. I've been thinking of these. Are you ready?
Right.
Okay, so this one's going to concern Oregon. So here we go.
Let's hear your
Oregon?
delusional thoughts.
Okay, so my hot take is Oregon's defense will be better than Oregon's offense this year.
I don't know if that's a hot take.
I don't know if that's a hot take either.
I think I understand where Austin's coming from because you and I, Spaz, have talked about a lot. The defense is a huge turnover this year, transition, a lot of young guys, especially secondary. So it's going to be interesting. But I wouldn't be surprised if the defense is kind of the hallmark of this year's team. I actually wouldn't be surprised, especially with Evan Stewart going out. I wouldn't be surprised if the defense is kind of the hallmark.
And I said this a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but I said don't sleep on your week 1 opponent, Montana State. They're really, really good. And if Oregon, I know they've got a lot of turnover on both sides of the ball, I could see that being like the Idaho game where Oregon has to survive.
Well, Montana State's a lot better than Idaho too, so it's
Montana State is not a team to sleep on, like at all. They are. I mean, they're the FCS runners up, basically. So it's like they're a very good team. So, they're like taking on North Dakota State. You can never sleep on like a team like North Dakota State. No matter who you are, don't sleep on them.
So it wouldn't surprise me, Ben, if it's like 20-17 with like 2 minutes left in that game. It would not surprise me if Oregon's in that kind of fight.
That would surprise me.
I don't want to deal with that again. I don't want to deal with that again this year. Come on, don't start off me and Spaz's year that way.
No, I can't do another. Fucking Idaho and Boise State.
Now at the end of the first half, if it was like 17-13 or something like that, I'd be like, okay. But then hopefully the second half they would figure it out. But if it's like that at the end of the game with 2 minutes left, I'd be like, I can't. This season's going to kill me again. I'm going to have an absolute.
Last season was pretty smooth for an Oregon fan, though. I mean, outside of the Ohio State game, and then the Wisconsin game, I guess you pretty much just demolished
37-34 field goal win against Boise State also.
Yeah.
These two. And then the Wisconsin game.
That's right. Yeah.
It was like an absolute heart attack for the most part, for the first part.
No. So, yeah, I mean, you had the Ohio State game, but like it didn't matter if you won or lost that game, really.
Yeah. No, the Ohio State game, that was not the same as like the Boise or the Idaho game. Yeah, that was a whole different. Right. Like it was like, okay, if we lose by 2 points, whatever, 3 points, whatever. Who cares? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was a game you knew both teams could recover from. This one was like, but I mean, the rest of the season, it was just, I mean, like it was smooth sailing for the most part. Like you just clobbered everyone for the most part.
Well, yeah, yes, but it was still a stressful season because you have the expectations, and then after you got through like 5-6 weeks, you were like, oh, we're undefeated. Can this keep going?
And then the Rose Bowl was over in like 5 minutes, so that wasn't real stressful either.
I don't like his attitude. Kick him from the stream right now.
That is true. I think after the first quarter, I was already drunk. At that point, me and Spaz had called. We're not doing the post game. We're not even going to do
the first 3 minutes. I was telling him this game's.
He was screaming. He was texting like,
"Calm down." And then it was 21-0. He goes, "Oh, maybe you're right."
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No. After it got to like 14-0, then I was like, "All right, we have a problem." That's when I started to panic. But this next year, Montana State cannot be taken lightly. Montana State is a good team. They are a good team.
They're an excellent team. Excellent program.
Yes.
So cannot be taken lightly.
And my other hot take I have for you guys is I think Nebraska is ready to take the next step and get 8 wins.
8 wins. Jackson, that was the first thing we talked about. Jackson said they were going to go 10-2 and make the playoffs.
8 wins I could see, but when we looked at the schedule,
8 wins isn't a hot take at all. Like that's a nice season. That's an okay season if you're a Nebraska fan. Like 8.
That's a respectable season for where Nebraska's been.
Yeah, but like if you offer a Nebraska fan right now, you're gonna go 8-4, like take it or leave it. Like I think they would all tell you to go shove it. Like no, we're not settling for
Here's
that.
the thing, Sean. I want to say this. You do realize who we're talking about, right? Nebraska, who have been in they've had their peaks and valleys, but they've been in the valley a long time. I think they've taken 8-4 peak.
No. This team is too good coming in here to settle for 8-4. Like, I mean, 8-4 would be an okay. 8-4 would be an okay season if it happens, but no, they should be in competition for a playoff bid this season. It's not.
But the thing is, Sean, how much faith do you put in them though? Because Nebraska, they do tend to choke the games away when they shouldn't. That's when
that's an old narrative, an old program. You know, they've got a coach that actually they've got a coach now that actually has them disciplined and has them executing the fundamentals.
I didn't see it in some of those games last year. With all due respect to Mr. Matt Rule, I still didn't see it. They still look like Nebraska of old.
Well, they did take. Remember,
it's a process. They're building. Yeah.
They were on a final drive to potentially take out Ohio State, even at Ohio State. But Raiola is young, threw a pick, and that sealed the game basically away. For Ohio State to take advantage. But they had their shots last year in a couple games. So it's the next step of the offense and Raiola.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of
because they look. Well, not to cut you off, but they look like they're going to be a running football team. Like Matt Rule's building the trenches.
They always do.
Yeah. He needs to. And Drew DeLong, sorry, no, this is not a call-in show, but if you want to do a call-in, you can join the Patreon or YouTube member and then join the Discord and get updates with the link here and join us every Sunday or every other Sunday for the After Dark show. And you can be on this panel. It's that easy. It's right there. Hit the join. YouTube join. Join the membership. Pick your tier. Go for it.
Jackson's not here to give you the 19-minute tier breakdown segment, so you got to do all the research yourself.
We got to streamline the business promos. I'll try to do a little sort of whatever. It's in the Discord. It's in the Discord, Tim. That's your own freaking problem. I censored myself. I said freaking.
Listen, you know what, Ben? I've got something that'll get Tim in here. Tim, USC's going 3-9. That's my hot take.
Don't do it.
Tim can literally let himself on it.
I'm tired. We're almost going 2 hours now. I'm tired. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right. Here's
There's
my
a hot
take.
take. There's a hot take.
Here's my hot take.
Okay.
This is a 2-1 hot take.
Uh-oh.
Oregon goes 10-2, possibly 11-1, with that only loss being to Michigan. Not Penn State in the whiteout game. I see that as a very troubling game. If they lose 2, its second one will be to Iowa. At Iowa. And the second part of that is that due to the Evan Stewart injury, I'm calling it right now, that DeCorian Moore and our tight end Kenyon Sadiq go for over 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns between them.
Oh, between them. I was about to say you're going to call that for both of them.
No,
I thought he was going to say 1,000 each. So that's why I was like, ooh. I was like, okay, 1,500 between the two of them. That I can see. Actually, that I can see. That's not actually that crazy to me.
One of them could come close to topping 1,000.
10 and 2. I can see 10 and 2. I can see 10 and 2. I think most people are on about 10 and 2 because the Penn State game, whiteout, that's gonna be rough. That is gonna be rough. Iowa is the other questioning one, and obviously we have to see how USC is doing and Washington. Different how seeing, but Iowa is definitely kind of a let's see how that goes.
I mean,
kind of game.
I want to ask you this, Spaz and Ben, could Oregon State upset you all?
No.
Being a rivalry.
No.
Now they've got the kid from Duke that transferred.
Yeah, and we're at home this year.
Malik Murphy.
Yeah.
Malik Murphy, yeah, and
we're
also
in
we're at
Autzen
home
this year.
at Autzen. No.
Yeah, no.
And that'll be the third game of the year. Nope.
I'd be more nervous about Oklahoma State at home than Oregon State at home. Because we don't know anything. We don't know how Oklahoma State's going to be. This is like Mike Gundy's "you got to do it" year, you know. So I'd be more nervous about them.
I have to go off camera.
Thank God.
Okay.
Another interesting.
Okay. So got a hot take. I think I've got the my projected Heisman finalists, the people in New York.
Ooh, the final 3 or final 4?
Final 4 here.
Okay.
I've got 4 here. Okay, so I got Kate. So here we go. I'll go Cade Klubnik, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, and Drew Aller.
Okay.
Those are the 4 guys I think will be in New York.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if that's a hot take. I'm kind
No,
of
not really a hot take, but I mean, like, if it's so unlikely to be exactly those 4 people for it to be that they choose 4 people and those are the people. I mean, it's like a 50-1 shot, so it's unlikely. But yeah, that's my thing.
The only hot take change in that I would make I'd switch out Dante Moore for Drew Aller. On a hot take side.
Yeah. I mean, like Dante Moore's an unknown quantity. He could be an elite talent.
Yeah, and with Evan Stewart going out, I might limit that. That's it. We don't know now, and now there's more questions about that. But so with what
I just think that opens DeCorian Moore going deep shot even more.
Well, it does.
And Sadiq, in theory,
it does in theory, but that's why it also raises a question for more stats. That's why I don't have a problem with Aller there because I'm like he's literally one of the most experienced, just like Klubnik, in the sense of quarterbacks. So it's like those two makes perfect sense when you think about it. I mean, Aller's getting all the praise for a reason, you know. Like we talk about at the beginning of the show. Aller is consistent, but he's not. He doesn't seem to do anything super special, but he still puts up great numbers.
Yeah.
It's just consistency.
I got one for you, Sean, and this is a hot take. Isaac Brown, the running back at Louisville. I mean, I think he could be there, a dark horse, a very big dark horse. I mean, he had, I think, over 1,000 yards, and he had like 9 touchdowns, and he showed flashes of being great. I think if Louisville, if we could put it all together, he could have a Heisman campaign.
Yeah, that's that's a little off the reservation, but yeah, possible. There.
Yeah, we need to.
And we're going to be a run-first team.
We'll have to do a deep dive into last year's stats, returning players, and see if we can do like a dark horse Heisman list of like 10 players or something like that. We'll have to do like that'll be a little like a deep dive kind of preseason dark horse kind of players. I mean, there's a bunch of them, so that's so hard to predict. Plus, I mean, shit, I could have said 2 weeks ago, hey, Evan Stewart. Oh, never mind.
Oh, shit.
It's like, never mind. Oh, he's not playing this year, apparently. So,
Yeah, you just hate hearing stories like that. I mean, he could have left to the NFL this year, been a day 2 pick, probably. And
I believe he did get a grade and he didn't like it, so he came back. I'm assuming it was like 4th round or later, and he was like, you know what, I'll come back one more year. And I think that still was the right move, but also he was already injured. He missed the Rose Bowl, missed the spring game, and then now re-injured.
Injured, yeah.
Everything. So
hopefully he had a really nice insurance policy that he can collect a little. Or hopefully he has an NIL package from people who aren't complete scumbags.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, and of course, all of his medical will probably be taken care of by the university and shit like that.
Well, of course that. Yeah, I don't think he's going to go bankrupt on that.
Yeah.
But,
There
were opportunity costs.
He'll come back the next year. This is a red shirt. Medical. I'm sure. You
think he will come back next year?
As a receiver, any player, you're not going to go a year of injury to go to the NFL draft.
The thing is about that is that you're
he already had injury issues at A&M.
Yeah,
so he's got to show a year of like, I'm not going to get injured like after an injury.
Yes.
He's got to show like 1 year.
Yeah, but also it kind of sucks to go into the NFL as like a 25, 26-year-old rookie. That's not ideal.
It's not ideal, but receivers play 5-6 years, Be that Fitzgerald,
I got one. I got one for you. And this one isn't too much of a hot take. But college game day will go to Bama, Florida State for Lee Corso's last game day ever.
No, it's going to Ohio. It's going to Ohio State, Texas. No, absolutely not. I'm shutting your ass down right now. It's going to Ohio State, Texas.
See, with all due respect to both of you, there's more history with Florida State and Lee Corso than there is with that game. I'm sorry.
No. Honestly, there might be more history with Ohio State and Lee Corso than Florida State and Lee Corso, even though Lee Corso went to Florida State. He went to Florida State sometime in the 1800s. I don't know.
Lee Corso is called the Buckeye. His favorite, outside of the Duck, the Buckeye is his favorite mascot. That's why he will go there for his final show.
It's the one it was his first headgear pick. It's the one he's chosen the most. I'd say Lee Corso has more history with Ohio State than Florida State. That is my hot take.
That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take. Outside of the Duck, Buckeye is his favorite, and then it's like the Duck. That is his favorite headgears.
I know Florida State has been bad. Obviously, they were bad last year. We're not forgetting that.
Yeah, after easily what should have been a 1-11, and somehow they beat Cal. Thanks, Justin Wilcox. Florida State doesn't deserve game day. Period. This year.
No. Well, they got game day in week 0 last year. I think that's all they deserve. Yeah.
And it started. It was the downfall.
I mean, so what you're telling me is if they don't go to Ohio State, Texas, that would surprise you all.
It wouldn't, like, they are going to Ohio State and Texas. Like, that's just a guarantee. It's a lock.
and Big Noon. I don't know. Did they announce a game time for that? Is that Big Noon, or that should be a night game?
Yeah, no. It's going to be a noon kickoff. That was yeah, it is stupid. It's awful. Texas vetoed the moving it to 3:30. So Fox gave them the option. They said you can be at noon or 3:30, and you both. And I don't know how Texas got to veto it. It seems like Ohio State, being the home team, should have.
I will tell you that I like Fox for what they do, like game wise, all that stuff. I like the Big Noon kickoff, like the show, but picking those certain games to be at noon is bullshit. Absolute trash. Most of these games should be prime time night games. Sorry, it doesn't matter who you are. These should be night games.
Yeah, but they're doing it. See, Fox, when they came in, they had to. They weren't getting the big games, so they had to come up with a marketing gimmick, and now they're kind of stuck with it. This Big Noon, and no one likes it. No one. Everyone says like, "Okay, you're a big boy now. You don't need these gimmicks." Here, we don't need.
You don't have to do it. They just do it because they feel like they're stuck with it. But it's like, hey, Big Noon kick. No, it's you just are doing your pregame shows. That doesn't mean you have to air the game right then. You can do another game and have that game go. But they feel like they're stuck with this. The game has to follow. They're stuck. They're stuck.
Yeah, well, back in the day when Disney monopolized everything, they always put the big game at either 3:30, but most of the time that was the 8:00 game. Most of the time, the big game of the week was the 8:00 game, and they got most of them during the year on ABC, and that was an event that definitely didn't hurt. It didn't hurt them that it was 8 hours after game day.
So I was excited, Sean, on that when they announced Oregon Penn State was going to be whiteout at 9. I was freaking excited. I was like, yes. I'm like, because last year they did it on Peacock, and I was like, the whiteout should be played on national television at night with the whole world watching. Like not at noon, not at 3:30, at 7:30, 8:00. That's when the whiteout should happen. That is a tradition. They did it against when they played Ohio State. It was a night game. They did it with Iowa. Oregon's now going to get that treatment. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Who was their whiteout game last year?
Washington.
Yeah.
It was like 41-6 or something like that.
Yeah. And it was on at 3:30 in the afternoon.
No, they played a night game. It was like 7 p.m. Eastern. So like that.
Okay, I thought that was their 3:30 game.
No, that was a full nighttime whiteout for Washington.
That's just pitiful then. Washington, love you to death, but you didn't deserve that.
Yeah, so the Oregon getting the whiteout, it's going to be interesting. For Oregon, it's not as great, but for Penn State, I think it's really good. For TV ratings, it's really good though. So
yeah, and Penn State got screwed. Again, the last couple of years with Ohio State and Michigan. Okay, you have our night game environment is the biggest advantage in college football. Okay, so for our 2 big games, we're going to play them at noon. Yeah, I mean, that's crap. That sucks.
I think most teams would avoid a night game. I do agree. Depending on the space of the stadium, most would avoid a night game. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah,
nighttime atmosphere is totally different than daytime.
Well, of course, especially in Penn State. I mean, God, they have nothing to do but get fucked up all day. That's my F-bomb.
Yeah. We're at 4.
Cheers.
We're at 4 for the night. Let's go.
So here's the thing with night games. as a neutral fan, like obviously as a Louisville fan, I don't want to go to Clemson at night. I really don't want to do that. But as like a bystander, I love when Oregon's going to go to Penn State. Like for me, that's fun watching it as a non-fan. Or Bama going to LSU at night, or Ole Miss. I like seeing those environments at night. Like not that noon 3:30 games are bad. It's just there's something about the night games.
Can we have Auburn, Alabama? Can we have the Iron Bowl at night for once?
Well, I mean, that game always ends at night, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it always starts at 3:30 Eastern.
Yeah, 2:30. But it's. I mean, the sun sets pretty early there, so it's always like night in the second half. It's late in the year, it's so.
Yeah,
I mean,
that game. I think all rivalries should be. Unfortunately, like Oregon State this year will be probably played in the afternoon. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a 1 o'clock kickoff. It's already been announced.
Yeah. Oh, it was just announced. Okay, I didn't know if it was announced yet. So I assumed
they announced 6 games like a week ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the timing on it. I hadn't been checking because I was like, yeah, we'll I don't look at that shit till media days.
Well,
I'm like,
when they announced that the whiteout game, that same time they announced the Oklahoma State, Oregon State. They announced
I know Oklahoma State had been announced the timing with CBS or whatever. So, I don't know. I think there are games that need to be specifically set at night. I know that's hard to do. You can't just schedule. Oh, this game seems like it'd be great at night.
Yeah, I mean, like the Ohio State Michigan game every year they schedule it. It's a noon game. That's how it's been most years. There's been occasional deviations, but like that's just kind of like some of them have to. Like the Oregon State game. That game should always be played at like 10 o'clock Eastern. I feel.
I'm good with that. I'm okay with that.
So what I wanted to ask, not to go too far off the beaten path, but when's Oregon's blackout game that they have every year? That their annual blackout game for night. Who's that?
I'm assuming it's going to be USC.
I'd bet the bank that it's the USC game. I'm sure.
Yeah. So late November.
It'll probably be the NBC game.
That was the last blackout.
Maybe
game.
Indiana.
No.
Would they give Indiana that treatment?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, because
USC is going to be the blackout game with game day, guaranteed.
Ooh. Okay, that's
really
that's with game day.
Okay, that's a hot take because USC would have to be pretty good by that point.
They will be. They're going to be good this year. I expect USC to win 9 or 10 games this year.
We're going to see, especially by then, it'll be late October because that's before the last game of the year, the 12th game against Washington. So by then, we'll have a very good feel. But I mean, if USC is as good as they're going to projected to be, and Oregon just does what they do at Oregon, that will be a blackout night game for Oregon, regardless. I think USC is a rival in a way because Oregon hates USC, and USC didn't like Oregon.
I believe that's the last home game of the year too, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at Washington.
Yeah, so that's
senior
going to be
senior night.
Senior night, blackout, cancer awareness, blackout jerseys, market.
Yeah,
USC's up against it.
That will be the blackout. That will be a blackout.
And
so
the winner
Ben, I got one more hot tip for you.
The winner of that game probably goes to the Big Ten title game.
Ooh, okay, that's a hot take. I'll take that as a hot take from Spaz right there. I'll take that as one.
So I've got one more for you, Ben. I think you're gonna like this one. So I'm gonna say this. My hot take is Washington has a top 5 environment in all of college football.
Ooh, top 5
going into this year. Going into this year.
Washington is a top 5 environment. They've got a unique environment. You've got no other college football stadium has a yacht club.
Well, okay. When we're talking environment, are we talking noise and raucous, or are we talking scenery? Because scenery, Washington is
number 1
by far, top 5 by far. No questions there with the bay there. So I guess we have to specify: are we talking crowd noise, level, atmosphere overall, or are we talking scenery?
We're talking scenery, crowd noise, all of it together.
All involved. Okay. Top 5.
And here's the thing. What makes me say that is Washington at night is one of the hardest teams to play. You know it. Michigan found out, and Ohio State will find out soon enough if they ever play them at night. I truly believe that.
We played them at night. We've had series with them. We played them at night. We played them in the afternoon back in 2007. Beat the absolute piss out of them. And we've been there a couple of times. Yeah, it hasn't. I remember
they were not good for years, but
they were horrible.
I like the take though. I like the take. It's because there's a lot of levels and things you have to think about. That's what we had to ask about with scenery, noise, everything all involved. Washington has a great fan base. And there's no doubting that. As people that absolutely despise Washington, they have a very diehard fan base, though. They do. Just like Trojans here. Yes, we hate Washington more than we hate USC. Yes. But USC, you're number 2. We're coming for you, USC. You're number 2. Washington has a great fan base. I don't know.
But the Buckeyes will get up that list sooner or later.
Top 5, though. I don't know. There's so many great venues.
Well, I would say like that is one of the places I would just love to go see a game. Because like that, there's so much to do in Seattle. Seattle's such a great city.
Yeah, get rioted and deported.
Yeah, I mean,
deservedly, maybe, but yeah, still.
Yeah, but like that can happen. You might get indoctrinated into Antifa while you're there. Like, that can happen. That is absolutely legit. But I mean, like, there's also amazing fishing, amazing scenery. It's birthplace of freaking grunge, and there's all this culture there. Seattle is a great American city, and there aren't many college towns. Like, there aren't many great football programs that are located in tremendous, iconic American cities.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I say. Go ahead, Austin.
And USC fans, Los Angeles is a piece of crap. I'm never going there again.
And another thing too, and Ben, you as an Oregon fan can attest to this, and USC fans, is when you are the road team, it's hard to hear in huddles. Like, we see teams go to silent counts. Like, you can't tell me that's not a big advantage. And especially at night, and if it's purple rain and foggy, there's something weird and funky about it. There's something intriguing.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm saying top 5, I don't know. There's so many good venues around the country. As one of the top 15, I definitely would be like, Washington's in that. I would definitely put them in there because of the overall environment. If you just want scenery, definitely one of the top 5. Scenery-wise. Scenery-wise, BYU would be in there even for me. If you've ever seen the night shots of the mountains, oh my God, holy shit! So it's good, but overall,
Colorado. I don't know. Top 5. Can I give another hot take here? Texas Tech is a bottom 5. Lubbock
Yeah, that's not a hot take. I've been there. Yeah, no. That's not. There's
That
nothing there.
that is
Unless you want to get hit by tortillas.
yes.
Cam took one in the face, remember, at the Oregon game a couple years ago. He took one in the face. So yeah, no, Texas, that's not a hot take at all. Texas, it's a desert. Texas,
Yeah.
fucking nothing there.
There's too many things to do in Texas.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know this. Lubbock isn't actually Texas. Lubbock is like on a separate dimension. It's like
it's on northwest Texas. Yeah, it's up there in the Panhandle area. It's just off by itself.
It's super flat. It's got the most boring terrain in the entire country, and there's nothing around there.
Yeah, it's flat, desert, and dusty.
Yeah.
Here's another hot take for you. Chiefs Stadium, Rutgers Stadium is a top 45 environment.
No, that is a hot take because it's just. I hope you're right because I might be there in October. So
I was like top 45. I was like trying to think about that. I'm like top 45. Oh, shit.
I mean, you saw when they did the blackout against Washington, they had a lot of people there. It was loud. It was rocking. I know they were playing Washington, but they seem to have a good supporting. The scenery's nice. The stadium. I mean, I would say top 45.
In New Jersey? It was nice.
I mean, some of the drone shots they showed, it looked nice.
No. I'm not disappointed that I will not be able to go to the Rutgers game this year. I am not disappointed at all. I will enjoy watching it from my place or on the plane. I am not going to be disappointed. New Jersey can go itself. I'm still at 5. I've censored.
Pussy.
Yeah, I hate New Jersey. New Jersey is terrible. I can't. I just can't stand that place. Sorry, Adam. Our Rutgers host.
I mean, poor Adam.
That's because you haven't had your massage scalp by Chantal.
Oh gosh. Lord have mercy. Anywho. Trying to think, is there any other hot takes?
All right.
I'm done.
Oh, here's another good one.
Okay. I was gonna say, everyone, one more quick hot take. Chat, drop your final quick hot takes. We'll pull up a couple of them if we can, and we'll start winding it down. But I figure there's a couple more. So
I got one more for you, Ben, and this is complete.
All right, awesome.
Texas A&M wins 10 games and will be in the SEC championship game this year.
Oh, now we have to pull up schedule. Now we have to pull up schedules again.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. I gotta pull up the A&M schedule.
You told me think of one good one. That's the one I thought of.
All right.
No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm just like, I gotta pull up the A&M schedule. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Where is Texas A&M? There they are. Schedule. Let's see. UTSA, Utah State, at Notre Dame. So they have a couple warm-up games. Now UTSA is not going to be like a gimme game. UTSA is pretty good. They're very good lower level team.
But that's not a game they should have any trouble winning.
It shouldn't be. And then after at Notre Dame, they have a bye. Then they're Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas, of course, LSU.
So their first four games, the Florida game is the big one.
Well, the first 4 games, the big ones, Notre Dame.
Well, no, 4 games in conference.
In conference, yes, their big one, is Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida. The big one's Florida, yeah. And I mean, you could say Arkansas because that's a rivalry game. Always played in Jerry's World. At LSU, at Missouri, South Carolina, and then ending at Texas, of course, for the other rivalry.
Wait. You missed the Sanford Bulldogs there.
You get why I missed the Sanford Bulldogs? I skipped over that. Do you understand why?
Come on.
So how would you rate that hot take? I mean,
hot take: Sanford beats Texas A&M.
If they beat Notre Dame, I will be more on the lean of like, yeah, that's very highly likely because Notre Dame pretty much figures they're going to run over A&M at home because they beat them on the road last year. That's the takes from Notre Dame fans that I've heard.
Well, A&M, quarterback issues though at A&M, like they haven't gotten that right in a long time.
Well, it's true, but Notre Dame has a new quarterback, so at the same time, they're kind of equal, I guess, in a way. Yeah, I agree. Texas A&M needs to figure out their offense. Their offense is inconsistent.
Yeah.
Some games it's really good, and the other games they're like, "What are you doing?"
I'll say this though, you couldn't ask for a much better conference schedule here. I mean, not saying these games are easy because there aren't a lot of easy games in the SEC. Not a lot of layups, but they don't face a gauntlet here. They miss a lot of the higher level teams, and they as far as like super difficult road games in the SEC, LSU and Texas. I mean, and the Texas game is kind of a different beast unto its own because that's just that's a blood rivalry.
That might be. And the thing about that game is too, I mean, there'll probably be some Texas A&M fans in that building too.
Oh,
it may be like 9-10. But
College Station to Austin is like 3 hours, 3 hours, basically.
Which in Texas time is like nothing. Like Texas, I mean, if you want to get from one place to another in Texas, like you're usually talking about 5 hours.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours. Yeah, but their bye weeks also set up pretty nicely because after Notre Dame, you get a bye before conference play.
Yeah,
and then after you have Mississippi State, Florida, Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida. At Arkansas, you have at LSU. Arkansas is a neutral site, quote unquote. But you have at LSU. Then you have a bye before at Missouri, South Carolina.
Yeah, that's
Texas, so kind of nice. It's kind of nice.
You have byes immediately after your two of your probably two biggest games of the first 11 weeks of the season.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah,
they set them up really good.
Elko teams are always like disciplined. You don't expect them to blow many games. So I mean, I think they probably have to go 11-1 with this schedule, though. Maybe they might be able to sneak in with a 10-2 record into the playoffs with this. They need to win all of the games that they're supposed to win.
Yeah, they can't have a blowout like they did against South Carolina last year.
Yeah, no.
Game. This is a good question. Where did Connor Wegman end up? That is a good question. I know where he went, and I cannot think of it off the top of my head. I know where did he go?
I'm with you, Ben. Like I see the team logo. I just can't think of it at the moment. Like
Connor Wegman, he's at Houston.
Oh, he went to Houston?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Well, I knew it was in Texas.
Shit, 45 minutes away, so that makes sense. And why not? 45 minutes from College Station, why not? Let's go to UH.
Yep.
Hey, Willie Fritz will get him.
He's from that area too, so.
Well, and Willie Fritz
from Cypress, Texas. So.
Oh yeah. That's just straight up west of here, or northwest. And Willie Fritz will get him in a good position. Can't blame him. Went to another good coach. Spaz, you had did you have another hot take or was it Sean?
I don't think I had another hot take.
Yes, Jackson died. His knife. Yes, Jackson died.
Rest in peace.
I'm writing his
Yes, R.I.P. Jackson.
I'm writing his memorial right now.
Yes. We all love you, Jackson, and we're thinking of you.
Spaz, did you have one more hot take? Spaz is dead. All right, cool. All right. His also.
Ben, you want to know what's not a hot take? Is getting the Mark Rogers merchandise. That's not a hot take.
That is true. Unfortunately, I don't have all that pulled up. So everyone,
I tried to set you up.
I don't have that pulled up. That's Jackson's job. I don't know, man. I'm just a monitor over here. I'm just a moderator.
Well, we need to hire someone new for that.
Oh, that's fine. Someone can fire me, and I'll just take royalties from the show. That's cool. Royalties. Let me say royalties. Let me air quote royalties. Very heavily here.
We'll leave Spaz in charge. How about that?
Well, this show's
that is the famous last words of anything that ever existed. Let's leave Spaz in charge.
The show will go so far downhill.
Who's going to feed the goldfish? Oh, let's leave Spaz in charge. Rest in peace, Miss Clown.
Okay. Final hot take. A little bit of final hot take, and I will address what Austin said though. Everyone, please always go in the description of these videos. Find the Amazon link. Find the voiceofcollegefootball.com link where you can find your favorite writers. Find the .com where you can find merchandise, also and along with it, as well as all the stores. Buy some of your favorite Voice of College Football merchandise, and you can connect with us. Become a YouTube member. Join the Patreon. You can be on this panel with us every week. Final hot take. I don't think it's a hot take though. If Oklahoma doesn't have a winning season with a bowl win, Venables will be fired.
That's not a hot take at all.
That's not a hot take.
Damn it. I tried. I thought I was going to say hot season, and I said fired.
Why wouldn't you just say it like this? Brent Venables will be fired.
Oh, well, okay. Okay. He will be fired. If he doesn't go 7-6 with a bowl win, he will be fired.
So
You know what? I'm going to set the room on fire right now.
We thought about Billy Napier last year, and he survived.
Yes, he did.
Well, that's true. That is true. But once he got the support, he finished strong. They finished strong once they got their quarterback back. So Napier finished in the right way. Venables did not.
Yes.
So, Sean, I'm going to knock your socks off. South Carolina's going to win the SEC. There we go.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. They very well might have the best quarterback in the SEC. I don't see that happening. I think that's a clickbait hot take. I don't think you actually believe that.
Could they be on the verge, like maybe even an appearance in the title game though? That might not be so much a hot take, but winning it, yeah, because they might have to play the same team. Well, because they might have to play the same team again, right? Because no division now, they have the pods.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, What? What are you doing over here? What are you doing over here?
I got my final.
Oh,
I got my final.
Kill me.
Sean will like this one too.
What are you doing?
Nebraska wins the Big Ten.
Oh, woof.
Whoa.
Woof.
Wow.
Okay, we are off the rails of this. think it's time to end the show.
Well, I mean, I like it. I like the take. I like it. I mean,
Okay, which one's more likely, South Carolina or Nebraska winning their conference?
South Carolina.
Yeah, I think South Carolina winning it.
Yeah.
Although, like, I can't think like the Big Ten. I think the SEC is probably deeper, but the Big Ten might have better teams at the top this year. Might be a little bit stronger out.
I think they were stronger last year too, though.
Yeah, top and mid range even. I think that mid range maybe was kind of equal, but I think they had the better top range, and that showed up in the bowl games too.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the playoffs, but also the playoffs were deceiving because the record shows a loss for the Big Ten because Ohio State beat Oregon. I don't know why that counts as a Big Ten loss.
What?
Like it's the Big Ten. I don't know why that counts as a loss for the Big Ten, but that's what the record shows. So,
wait. Well, I mean, Penn State lost to Notre Dame. Who's not a Big Ten.
No. But they also consider Oregon losing to Ohio State as a Big Ten loss.
Did they?
Which is really screwed up because I'm like, isn't that like just neutral? Like, what? How does that count? Like, that doesn't even make sense. How that counts as a win or loss for the conference, but it is what it is. So,
yeah,
I'm gonna go with South Carolina. Also, I'm sorry, Nebraska's got to show something before I can believe in them. At least I've seen more life out of South Carolina.
Let me
Nebraska.
I'll say both of them are absolutely mental, and if either one of them happen, I will like send $100 gift card to whatever $100 Venmo payment, DoorDash order to you.
Someone better be clipping this right now.
Yes.
You will not have
receipts. I'll be happy to do this. If South Carolina wins the SEC, I will give $100 in whatever form Austin wants her. And if Nebraska wins the Big Ten, I will give Spaz $100 in whatever form he wants.
Okay. You got yourself a deal, Sean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, and you guys don't have to offer anything on the other side. This is a completely risk-free wager for both of you. A total free roll. I don't care.
That's a safe bet.
Neither are going to happen.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
You know, so here's the thing.
I'm guaranteed to not win anything on this bet, so it's still not going to be good for me.
I tell you what.
Other than I can laugh.
Sean, I got a good one.
I can laugh at, but either one finishes 4-8 this year. Ha ha! You said they were going to win. That's it. That's the only thing I have to go.
Me and Spaz, we will bet the farm on our teams if you want.
No.
I'm listening. Like, how much do you want to bet that South Carolina is going to win the SEC this year? How much would you really be willing to bet? Let's do this.
Honestly,
put your money where your mouth is, Austin. Don't be a coward.
Don't back out now, bitch.
You said it, Austin, not me.
I will bet almost anything you want at any odds you want. South Carolina will not win the SEC.
I tell you what, Sean, I'll do you one better. I'll tell you what. If South Carolina wins the SEC, I want to see you in a Michigan jersey, live and on air.
Oh, God. Oh, of course.
Oh.
Let's go.
No, Austin.
Let's do
If you're going to do it right, Austin, if you're saying if South Carolina wins the SEC by your bet, he has to win a Michigan jersey on air every week for the rest of the off season next year. The entire off season.
That's a good idea, Ben. And I tell you
can't
what,
just
Sean,
have one show or like 10 minutes. You got to make them wear it the whole offseason on there.
Wait.
I tell you what, Sean.
Wait. Hold on. I already offered something here. Like,
Sean agreed to it. I can edit it so it sounds like he agreed to the terms of what I just.
Wait. I offered a risk-free wager of $100 to both of them. $100 in the form of an Uber.
No, I heard Michigan jersey for the entire offseason. Yeah.
Wait. So I have to give you guys $100 and then have to perform this debasing ritual.
No. I will leave the 100 off. I want to see you in the Michigan jersey
for the entire off season. Oh,
yes.
Why are we only negotiating what I have to risk here? What I have to give up? Like what are you guys going to do?
I have nothing in this fight. So I don't care.
It's just between you and Austin.
Wait. Spag, you also said an outrageous thing that Nebraska was going to win.
Yeah, but I ain't dumb enough to put anything on it.
Here's the thing: ain't no one gonna call me a coward.
And Austin hasn't said one thing that he would be willing to wager on this.
Here's the thing, Sean. Let me finish.
Austin, you got to wear a Miami jersey for the off season.
I don't mind Miami. I was gonna say Duke. Duke or Kentucky. I don't like either one of them.
Austin's got to come here on in high heels and Kentucky booty shorts, right here on camera.
I was gonna say. I think a fair trade-off would be, say, Austin says this to you, Sean. South Carolina wins the SEC, but if South Carolina doesn't even make the SEC title game, then Austin has to. Like that way, if they fall completely short of it, then Austin has to shit.
I mean, the odds are they're going to fall short of it. So it would have to be a fairly modest wager. You have to come on and sing the Kentucky fight song or something.
That's what I mean. Like if South Carolina made the SEC title game, I'd be like, okay, that's pretty. At least they got close. Yeah. But if they don't even make the title game, then I'd say they fell short of Austin's. So I think that would be more of a trade-off from winning title to not making title game, kind of thing. We'll eliminate that middle ground. So yeah, Austin, what would be your punishment?
I would wear a Kentucky jersey on here, and I despise Kentucky.
All season long?
Agreed. Yes, I would do it all season long.
Off-season.
Yes.
Okay. So each one's going to wear a Rivals jersey all the off season. If they
wait,
and no complaint.
So he's willing to wear a Kentucky jersey, even though this is very likely going to happen. I think South Carolina is unlikely to make it. Very unlikely.
But he's willing to do it if they don't win the SEC title, or if they don't make the title game.
It seems he doesn't understand the terms of this spot here.
But that's what I mean. The point is, if they don't make the title game, he's willing to do that. But if they win the SEC, then you have to win the Michigan. So you are in better odds to not have to wear the Michigan one.
Oh, obviously.
So why are you being afraid?
And here's the thing.
No. I just don't think Austin understands the terms of this bet here. But here's the thing. We are offering exactly equal 1-to-1 punishment, 1-to-1 odds here, and he is not on the even money side of the bet at all. He should be getting plus. Huge odds.
He is doubling down on the potential, and that's how you also win money sometimes.
No, you don't win money. You don't win money taking even money. Taking even money on long shot bets.
We're just trying to see you in a Michigan. We're just trying to see you in a Michigan jury for an entire offseason.
Well, it's not going to happen because South Carolina is not going to be in the title game.
Well, they have to win the SEC.
Oh yeah,
Spaz,
of course.
Spaz, if you're fucking eating, there's the God Lord.
Okay. This is stupid. We can negotiate further in a couple weeks because I'm at my limit now.
I literally was like, Spaz, you better not be eating. You stuff your freaking mouth. I dropped my sixth F-bomb of the night.
This is a reasonable hot take here.
This is a good one, actually. This is the final hot take. This is a good one. I was going to bring up that about the G5. Ooh, I don't know. This is a good one. Boise State, I don't know if they can repeat what they did last year. I don't know. UNLV,
one of them, or Arizona State.
Well, no, but G5.
Oh yeah,
G5. Yeah. UNLV. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were. Because UNLV now has Mullins, right?
Dan Mullen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could be good. They could be shockingly good, though. That first year coach installing a system, they could be shockingly good. I mean, they were good last year, obviously, but I don't know. This is a good take, though. This is a good take. The Beavers and Washington State. I mean, they just lost Mateer and their OC.
No,
and their head coach.
Neither one of them are in play for this. But you're talking about somebody from the Mountain West, and I don't know. The problem is I don't see any hot G5 team coming up this year really at all. Boise State had a lot of juice going into last season. Liberty had a lot of juice going into last season.
And they lost to Kennesaw State. So.
Yeah.
Memphis has got a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Tulane could be good. I mean, Tulane is always decent. Tulane is always good. I think they'll be okay. Memphis, I think, should still be really good. We can't just limit to obviously the Mountain West. The American is really good too.
Army.
Oh boy. I just got an angry text message from Mark.
Oh no.
Who's he mad at? All of us? Are we
I don't know. I
fired?
didn't look. I just saw Mark. I'm like, I'm not looking at it right now. Sorry, Mark. Whatever we did. Maybe it's one too many F-bombs. Maybe. Or political stuff. Who knows? I think there are plenty of G5 teams I think that could surprise people this year. It's going to be interesting. I think that Boise State will always be right up there. Tulane, Memphis, Jacksonville State even could surprise people again. They've been pretty.
Rich Rod is gone. Rich Rod is gone now.
Well, I know, but they've been solid where they've built a foundation where at least one year. Western Kentucky could have a kind of a nice year. I don't know about playoffs.
What's Western Kentucky done lately?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about playoff though. They always have nice years.
No, that's the hard part. I don't feel like there's that much buzz around any G5 programs coming into this year.
Oh yeah,
there would have to be two G5 teams get in, right? Yeah. So there would have to be. That seems unlikely, quite unlikely.
Liberty's always in kind of the mix a little bit too.
But Liberty always has to they never play anybody, so they always have to. They're reliant on getting that on everybody else falling apart.
Well,
getting the AQ bid because they're never going to get in that large bid because they never play anybody at all.
Well, and what about this last year? Their coach did leave because they had a couple bad years, but that was because they were transitioning. But this last year they won 9 games. I mean, what about Sam Houston? There's always the UTSA. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the The G5s are
Western
really
Michigan.
hard. Yeah, the G5s are really hard because there's a lot of turnover in coaching staffs after like 1 or 2 good years.
Oh
So
yeah.
you don't know what that next year is going to bring with a new staff or whatever. And it's so hard to predict what you're going to see.
But normally you can kind of sense when you have lightning in a bottle. I remember, I was living in Kalamazoo back in 2016 when Western Michigan had their miracle like 12-0 run. They had that big, huge opening week game against Northwestern. But everyone knew like Western, like they were probably going to run the MAC, and like they could very easily go undefeated in conference. Like that was like everything was geared up towards them in that season, and you knew everything was going to fall apart right after that. And I feel like that was a situation with Boise last year. Everyone knew Boise was super loaded coming into last season. Like that was a team that could do things.
Yeah. Well, Boise's O is generally consistently good. So that's one of those teams you might see like
no one's saying they're a top 20 team this year. Some people were thinking that last year in the preseason.
I'm saying like, but Boise generally every year, okay, they may win only say 8 games, or they may win 10 games, but that's generally where people have them at. Their O is a very consistent program and team.
But what I'm saying is, like, coming into this year, is there that G5 team that has a lot of buzz around them? Because I don't think there is this year.
No, I think losing Genty and all the other guys that they did lose. Now they have their quarterback back.
Well, but not just Boise. Anybody in the like, I don't see a single G5 team in any top 25 that I look at.
No. Well, no, not at this point. No, of course not. I think it will come down.
Last year you had Boise State.
Yeah, Boise was high up.
In Liberty.
Boise was top 20, I think, at that point. Something like that.
I could see maybe Memphis or Army as like the two that could sneak in the preseason top 25, maybe.
But they're in the same conference too, so that would be really hard for both of them to get into the playoff. It'd be really hard.
Yeah.
So, oh well, it's an interesting thought because I do think the Big 12 is probably kind of limited to one team. Like it's going to be hard for them to get multiple teams on.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is we're going to find out a lot more. Like I say, you think spring ball done? Hey, fall camp, we know what we're looking at. And then as for Oregon fans, injuries happen and you lose your number wide receiver. So teams are going to change as we go into training and stuff.
I have a question about that, Evans. How did this injury even happen? Because we don't
know. He'd always been injured. He had injury issues. He missed the Rose Bowl again. He missed spring game. Apparently, he was recouping, and either this is a reoccurrence of the same injury, or he pushed it too quickly, or we don't know, and we'll never know. But yeah, I'm assuming it's the same injury or exacerbation of the same injury. Just one.
He did come out today and say that don't put a timetable on him. He will be back before we know.
Well, that's why I told you on Friday's show. I said people said it could be 3 months to 12 months recovery. So it depends on the severity. Is this just a re-aggravation or a destruction of the same injury? So yeah, but none of us expect anyone to push anything. So we just assume he's out pretty much the year.
Yeah.
We're just assuming.
And everybody's body heals different too. Like Sean could break his finger and heal in 2 weeks, whereas you, Ben, could break yours and you could be out the rest of the year.
You know what? I don't like him talking to me like an old man over here. Like, oh, you could break your finger, you'd be out the whole year. You know what, Austin? I don't appreciate that.
Well,
Sean and I are like almost the same age.
Yeah,
he just looks like a terrorist.
And
Where do you get your information from?
maybe that's angry.
And Ben uses his fingers differently than I do. So,
Ooh, maybe that's the angry text I'm getting from Mark. You don't like the F or T words, not the F bombs, but the. Okay, all right. Anyways, yeah, okay. I have no other hot takes tonight other than that. Again, Stanford's going bowling, and they will curse the ACC. Do you have any other final quick hot takes?
Nope. I know it's not a hot take. Ben. Is this show right here, the home of the voice of college football? It's the greatest show on YouTube. That's not a hot take.
Oh, that's why Mark's texting me angrily. That's what it is.
No, I feel like my hot take is I think there will be what happens off the field this season might be more interesting than what happens on it. Yeah, between NCAA realignment and all this issues. So that's the one hot take. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that's not accurate, but could be.
That's a fair thing, and we're going to find out with the Michigan stuff coming up too. So that might be the huge off-season topic. But
hot take.
Yep.
All right.
This is our last show because Ben just got the word from Mark that we're all fired.
I have been waiting for that.
Mark
text
can't
message
fire me.
I've been waiting for that text message for several years.
Why can't he fire you, Austin?
I'm not an employee, so Mark can't fire me. He could just. Mark could just he could just give me my $5 back and say, "Shoot, you bugged me, kid. Go away."
It's true.
All right.
This is true.
Come on.
Right. Well, then, one by one, everyone, please. If we're done with hot takes, I think it's enough. It's almost 3 hours now.
Done.
One by one. Please tell everyone where they can start getting on. Starting with Sean, then Austin, and Spaz.
Okay, so you can find me. Just search my name on Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, whatever. I am places, but it's not my life. So
you came out of the closet finally. Goddamn, about time.
Congratulations, Sean.
Yeah. That's it. I appreciate you guys' support. Just in time for Pride Month here. So,
gosh dang it, Spaz.
Oh no.
So no. You can find me, and you can also find me tomorrow. You can find me fishing off the pier of Grand Haven, and beyond that, I don't have a whole lot of other plans other than enjoying, the little bit of nice weather we have here where I live. We have 4 months of perfect weather, just the greatest, and we're almost at the beginning of it, and I'm not going to take it for granted. So, that's right. Find me on the Grand Haven Pier tomorrow, off the shore of Lake Michigan.
Sean, I just searched your name on Facebook, and y'all are gonna die. You know what comes up? First thing that comes up is Sean was killed in a drive-by shooting in Portland 3 years ago.
Yep. So, breaking news here on
really dead.
We've transcended dimensions here on the Voice of College Football.
We've had the ghost. We've had the ghost of Sean all these years.
Where's Jennifer Love Hewitt when you need her for this?
That's why my video quality is so poor. It's just because
September of 21, it says 44-year-old Sean Edward Gardner.
I'm more insulted by that than anything
You're
else.
Edward?
I'm a Patrick. And
Sean Patrick Gardner.
I've been to Portland, but I was not shot and killed in Portland.
Oh, I just saw that and I was like, what the hell?
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Portland is Portland's something else these days. Austin.
Well,
if I do happen to go to Portland, though, that might happen. That might be the situation when I go there. Non-zero chance.
Austin, where can people find you?
I don't know if I want people to find me after this, but if they want to. But in all seriousness, they can find me at Sports Talk with Austin 2002 here on YouTube, where I upload daily content with Jackson on there on both our personal channels. We're getting ready to do predictions and all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter /X, whatever you like to call it, at Austin W 1980 2639, where I give my takes on a little bit of everything from hockey to football to basketball to professional wrestling across all the globes and all that. And Spaz, where can people find you?
Yeet!
If they yeet.
Y'all can find me down there at Sean Spaz Drag on Twitter, X, whatever they want to call it these days. I do not have Blue Sky. I'm sorry for those that are upset. I do have Facebook, and you can search me there if you can find me who I am. And I also have Rocky Classic on Instagram and Twitter, or Instagram and TikTok, excuse me. Oh, and I'm the co-host with that guy up there.
Wrong corner.
At the Voice of College Football Oregon channel.
Wrong corner. Who's over there? There's no one over there.
Nope. Yep, over there.
There you go.
There's someone.
Good job.
Spaz sees dead people.
And for everyone, I will put Spaz's private number in the chat right now in the public chat. So don't worry. It is 154112. No. That's right. I'm just Ben of Exploring with Ben and Sam right here on YouTube. So please check me out, or Exploring Ben on Twitter. I really don't do shit on Instagram or TikTok anymore. So whatever. I don't care.
You're not a TikToker?
No. I leave that to the Chinese people and the youth.
What about a red note? Is that the new thing?
Is that a thing?
There was some other thing when TikTok was maybe going to go away. People were signing up for Red Note or Red Book or something like that.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know what that is.
Good night,
maybe
Sharice.
that was. I don't know. Yeah, good night, Sharice. And it's a good time because we're about to get out of here. It's been 3 hours. It's been a great time with all of you in the chat. If you haven't, hit that like, hit that subscribe so you know when we're going live. Also, it helps the network out, and you'll find all of your favorite team channels. So next week we're off. Also, it's Father's Day weekend next weekend. So everyone enjoy a holiday weekend. Go have some time with family or whatever you do. I have dinner with in-laws. So again, yay.
We may not be back anyways. Who knows?
I'm not checking that text. I'm not checking that text till in the morning.
Chicken.
Mark is on mute for the night.
Chicken.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Eventually, someday, we're going to get to the bottom of Austin's sports allegiances. He's a Louisville Nuggets. Who's your NFL team again, Austin? Cowboys?
The Cowboys. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Yeet.
All right.
Eventually, we'll get to the root of all this stuff. But
we're gonna get to the
Come on, Spaz. Look, we got to get eating.
We still have a long off season. So everyone, thank you for joining again, and make sure again like, share, and subscribe to the channel and all your team channels here on the network. We will not see you next week.
Yeet.
Oh my God! We'll not see you next weekend. Happy Father's Day in advance. We'll be back the following week with a nice topic as we'll deep dive into some other things coming up and media days, especially. Sean, would you like? No, Austin. Austin, would you like the honors?
Does Austin remember this?
Yes, I do. And Sean, stop yeeting yourself.
Yeah. Let's go.
Pop-Tart, play us out, baby.
Oh. Got me excited. He said it with such authority, too.
You got to put the sound effects in there. We're going to hear the slapping.
Yeah.